The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93 Air.
Okay, turn your radio up.
Good morning, gentle freaks.
Who are you calling a freak?
Freaky.
We made it to Wednesday. Happy hump day.
Happy hump day to you.
Get over that hump.
Dogs like to hump. Not just on Wednesdays, every day. But you can't call every day hump day. That would be confusing. So in 1937, the International Tribunal of Dogs voted to make Friday hump day. But that didn't sit well with the American delegation. They wanted hump day earlier in the week. The court ruled in favor of the American challenge and moved hump day to Wednesday, where it's been ever since.
It's hump day. It's showtime.
Oh, man. It ain't right. It ain't right at all. But we got to go ahead anyway. By God, good morning and welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Here's the deal. We hope Ashley's going to feel better soon. She's still down. Sick as all hell. But we're going to keep it going in memory of Ashley. Today's program is in memory.
Well, she's still alive.
She's still alive?
Yeah, she is alive.
Oh.
She's just feeling very sick. That's all it is.
Oh.
Unless you have some late-breaking information.
No, I had heard. I heard that she had passed.
No. If she did, we've got some investigating to do, either paranormal or criminal, because I received a text message from her this morning.
Well, who was it that texted me and said that she was gone?
It was a prankster.
All right. Well, then, not in memory. Then just
Broadcast in lieu.
In lieu of her absence. What's going on over there, Josh? Did you know that I have a couple of text messages over here?
I didn't.
I got a couple of text messages. Ah, man. Maybe this is what had me confused. Randy Shaver more than likely drowned last night while vacationing in Pewabic.
Well, you know, I've seen some of the stories on flooding throughout the state, and they're saying life-threatening at times, depending on what part of the state you're in.
I got a text from a listener that says, anyone heard from Randy? Okay, yeah, he's up in Pewabic with his wife and my kids. I think the listener says, I think the rain swept him out to sea after last night's storms. Pretty severe flooding up there. I did call Randy Shaver last night, Josh. I heard a gurgling sound, and then the line cut out.
Oh, no.
So,
well, he gargles vodka. Maybe that's what you were hearing.
Was he just in the middle of a...
It could be.
And I also...
Maybe that's what Ashley needs to do, is gargle some vodka and wipe out whatever she's got.
Couldn't hurt at this point.
What's that?
Couldn't hurt at this point. You can try something, anything.
Some folks use booze as a remedy.
Right, like back in the day, maybe your grandparents would put a little, what was it, brandy on your gums if you're teething or whatever they do?
Whiskey is what I remember.
Blackberry brandy was my grandpa's go-to.
Yeah, so Smashley's not feeling good. Randy's in a life raft somewhere up on the Iron Range. We're just dropping like flies. I also received a text, Josh, from one of my favorite names, one of my favorite Jesus names. It's just a greeting. It says, "Sup, bitches."
I like the start.
Wildly original greeting. And that is from Porter Potty Doo-Doo Pie Jesus. I'm a fan. I am a fan.
Plenty of people texting in saying good morning to the half-assed radio show. So is that what Hulk Hogan said yesterday?
That's what he called us, yeah.
He called us the half-assed radio show?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, I like
what's
it.
funny, right before we went on, he's like, wait, what's the name of the show? So I filled him in.
Oh, I didn't even catch. He really asked that question?
Yeah, because he was asking, do you guys get any crap for that?
Sure.
He thought maybe people would be offended by it.
I guess the Hulkster thought it was 1957 and you can't say ass on the radio. The half-assed radio show, I don't mind that name. Right now, the way it stands, it's the half-assed morning show. Maybe if more people refer to us as a radio show as opposed to a morning show, it'll be easier for us to move to afternoons.
We need to do that.
Yeah, we do.
Well, no. Wappel and Dana, you'll still be doing mornings.
You guys,
Son of a...
I was talking about Josh and I.
We've been here about 30 years.
Yeah, you guys can have the morning show. We'll take an afternoon. We'll just be a radio show.
Damn.
And actually, Wappel, you're going to join us in the afternoon. So it'll be you doing mornings and afternoons.
And you guys have
And
to...
prep work. That's a long day.
You guys don't know how to do prep work. You guys have to stop assuming that wherever Josh and I go, you will follow. You have to stop assuming that.
Oh, I do know that.
Didn't you notice that we moved in this very building, we moved way down the hall, and these guys followed us. We were in studios. We were in the 105 studios, which were on one end of the building. Then we moved back to the 93X studios right in the middle, and now we're in the KQ studios at the front of the building, and you guys have been following us every place.
There was one time when you guys were at Love 105, I was sequestered to my own studio and couldn't see anyone. That was kind of cool.
I had, during the pandemic, then remember, I was in 105.
Yeah.
I was sequestered and couldn't see anything.
Josh, I agree with Josh when we moved over to the studios that we're sitting in right now. That was a terrible feeling when we looked behind us and you guys were there. That was a terrible feeling.
We're just waving. Hi.
We're still here.
Oh, what else is going on? Yesterday this time, a little bit yesterday, we discussed Cubby's lifelong battle with Catholic guilt, which I always really enjoy talking. I really enjoy that. Do any of you ever get, this is new to me, and maybe it's new to you too, do any of you ever get sunshine guilt?
Maybe a little bit, I guess.
I absolutely do.
You do?
Yeah.
What? Explain yourself. Why do you get it so bad?
I don't like being outside in the summer when it's hot, but I feel pressure when it's hot out and it's nice and the sun is shining. I feel like I need to be outside doing something.
Okay.
But all I really want to do is be sitting in a cold, dark basement.
I've had that feeling before, but I think, the older I get, the more I just accept. I am an avid indoorsman.
Right.
I could have my own magazine, indoorsman.com online. It just became an online magazine somehow.
Wow, it's moving fast.
Yeah, it really did. Technology, you can't even catch up.
No.
In the middle of a sentence, sometimes it's a whole new thing.
Went from a magazine to a website.
Yeah, I could have a field and stream, but the stream would be like Netflix and things like that. I could have a magazine based on my lifestyle. I used to feel more guilty about it, and I think part of that is I'd have buddies who would give me crap. Whether the pastiness of my skin telling me I need to get outside, or, hey, why don't you come get on a boat or something like that. I'm like, well, there's too much sun on a boat. What? I can't go on a boat.
Mm-hmm. I think I got it, though. Indoorsman. Couch and stream.
Oh, like field and stream.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, you got to replace stream. What the hell?
No, stream is the Netflix and HBO Max.
I forget.
That was the original joke.
I'm sorry. I forget the...
Couch and stream is better.
I forget the alternate definition for stream now, right? It means internet. Dana basically spit the perfect definition of sunshine guilt, because there a few of you may be saying, well, what the hell is... I'm sure you figured it out by now, but Dana, you pretty much spit out the definition of sunshine guilt. Wappel, you said you get a touch of it now and again?
Yeah, once in a while. I'll be working inside, and then I'll go outside to, smoke a cigarette, and I'm like, man, it is nice outside. I should really do something. And then I turn around and go back inside.
Folks have been talking about this. Sunshine guilt, like I said, is basically what Dana explained. The feeling you get when the sun is out, it's a beautiful day, but all you want to do is be lazy and hang out inside. Oftentimes that feeling gets overwhelming enough that it forces you outside, even though you have absolutely no interest in being out of doors. I've always hated this gimmick. Since I was a kid, I hated it when someone said, pretty nice outside, probably should get out there. I hate that.
Did your parents do that? My parents definitely did.
It wasn't.
But when I was a kid, though, I loved being outside. I never really wanted to be in the house. But if we were, for some reason, they'd kick us out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when we were kids, I don't think anyone really encounters sunshine guilt until they get a little older, for the exact reason that Josh just explained. When you were a little kid, at least kids from me and Cubby's era, we spent all of our time outside. I don't think it's something that really hits you till you get a little older. I always hated that. I don't know if my folks dumped it on me, but others would dump it on me. And I almost would stay inside just out of spite. I don't give a rat's ass what the weather is doing. If I want to lay here all day, that's what I'm going to do. So this subject kind of gets me fired up. I always hated folks who would dump that guilt trip on you. I would always say, you know what, odds are I'll make it till tomorrow. Maybe I'll go outside tomorrow. I get pissy about this.
As much as I don't spend a lot of time outdoors, a couple of my favorite jobs were mowing lawns and landscaping. Like I thought, what would if I got fired, what would I do? And I would be tempted to go back to mowing lawns, especially because when I did it, it was just push mowers. But now get on one of those zero-turn babies. I could have a variety, one of the stand-up ones and one of the sit-down ones, depending on what kind of day I'm having.
Mm-hmm. I know
like
a guy
if I hashtag can't even one day, I might get on the sit-down one.
I know a guy that would hire you, and you know him
really?
too. And you know him too.
Okay, is it
Curtis?
Curtis.
He would hire you.
I'd love to work with Curtis.
In a minute. I've always greatly disliked the sunshine guilt. I mean, this is the first I've heard of it by that definition, but it's been around forever. I don't know what I referred to it before this definition came out. I've just always really been bothered by folks who would give you that gimmick. Oh, it's really nice. You should get outside. I lump them in with those friggin' people who would also guilt trip you about sleeping in. I was up at 6. Oh, sleepyhead, you were down until noon. I hate that. I'll sleep till I'm ready to get up, and I do not care. The weather has no effect on what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Those two gimmicks always piss me off.
You've left this building before on a beautiful morning and said to me, oh, wow, what a nice day to get into bed and sleep all day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I do not fall in line with this stuff. You will not. You won't get me on this one.
Shouldn't be on a motorcycle, Jesus said. The cure for summertime sunshine guilt, and then he just sent an emoji of a motorcycle. Sure.
A motorcycle.
I used to keep the rubber side down except for the couple times I crashed, and I did enjoy that.
I'm a rider myself, but still, I don't care.
Yeah, you've got a fleet of e-bikes at your home.
I don't care.
I mowed yesterday, with an activity I do enjoy doing, but it was so miserable. I feel if you worked outdoors, I feel for you.
I walked to the recycling bin yesterday, Josh, and that was enough for me. With just how muggy and gross it was.
You walked out there, walked back, and that was it?
Yeah, and our grass definitely needs mowing too. And I thought about it for about a half of a second and decided there's no chance in hell that was happening yesterday.
Well, so when I was out there, though, a buddy of mine, he was working in the neighborhood, and he stopped by. And it was such a welcome relief. I had to do my best not to look like I was half dying. But I thought, oh, God, please stay as long as you want. I can take a break from this thing and just pretend it wasn't my call.
Here's a question from a listener. It's a bit offensive. Do any of you think that your parents wanted you to go outside just so they could start banging?
No, not at all. No. My parents have had sex. Well, they have 3 kids. I'm going to guess they had sex once and just the stuff stuck around for the other 2. There's no way they had sex 3 times.
By the time I was old enough for my parents to send us out the house, you know what I'm saying? By the time I was old enough to get on my bicycle and just ride away from the house, my parents were certainly still sexually active, just not with each other. So,
my buddy, his wife will not have any sort of marital relations if the kids are awake.
Within 100 miles?
If they're awake.
Awake.
Right? So if they're asleep, she'll go for it. But if they're awake and in the house, she will not.
Yeah, I know some folks like that. They say this sunshine guilt is especially common here in Minnesota because our winters are so short and can be brutal. Of course, last winter was a friggin' cakewalk.
That was a breeze.
Because our winters are long and hard and horrible, Minnesotans get a lot of sunshine guilt. A doctor described it as the intrusive thought of taking advantage of the sunny weather. It can affect your mood and make you feel bad about yourself. I'm telling you, I've never played that game, and I never will. If you want to stay inside, don't listen to the pricks who want to give you that song and dance.
I do get that guilt, though, sometimes. Well, name a guilt.
You get every
kind of guilt.
Every possible guilt angle. It tortures you. There's no doubt.
Just grab a guilt out of the guilt hat, and Josh probably has it.
Well, what's funny, too, is I could be indoors for a week. Beautiful weather, and then it rains one day, and it's like, well, it's a miserable day to be outside. I should probably get something done around the house. Now, for whatever reason, the rest of the days that never occurred to me. But if it's raining outside, there's no excuse to go, not leave the house. Wait, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, but I think you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
Doug, the angriest Keebler elf at the North Pole Jesus, said he has summer penis guilt. He feels he should be using it while it's at its most flattering. I told you guys about a month ago, I had summer penis. It was awesome.
Yeah, I remember you
I kind of wanted to go to get a membership at the Y and just walk around the locker room like the other old guys.
Just strut around?
I wouldn't have been ashamed. I mean, I wouldn't set any records, right? There'd be no double takes and nobody talking about it. But it wasn't as embarrassing.
This was earlier this summer.
Yeah, about a month ago.
Is it still happening?
No.
Oh.
And you'd think a day like yesterday, I mean, I don't like to look at it much. Maybe if I showered yesterday, I would have took a peek.
Another layer to this sunshine guilt nonsense is what the young people call fear of missing out.
FOMO.
I don't have that anymore. I did when I was a younger man.
Yeah, I definitely have a less and less as I get older, Josh.
I have LOMO. I have a love of missing out.
Hell yeah.
You're just glad other people had fun and that you didn't have to be a part of it.
Yeah, I don't cancel things. I think that's kind of rude. Unless obviously if there's you can't help it. But when I get canceled on, it's great. It's such an awesome feeling. Like all of a sudden you got a free day now.
It certainly is. I'd like to close this subject out. So I'm saying don't listen to the pricks. Don't fall in line with this sunshine guilt. There'll be another nice day down the road. And maybe then you want to go out and do something. If you don't feel it, don't do it. Stay on the friggin' couch. I'll close it out, though. Here's a comment from a doctor. How do you handle sunshine guilt if it's bothering you? Listen to this doctor. He says to tell yourself this phrase. Okay, and remember, this is a man or a woman, I don't know, with an education. Listen to this. This is the phrase you're supposed to remember. I'm doing what I'm meant to do, and I can have this other opportunity of being out in the sun at a better time for me. What? Did you get hit in the head or something? That's That's a comment from an educated person, and that's the phrase we're supposed to remember.
I will remember that.
I got doing lost. What I was meant to do?
Yes, I got lost halfway through. Remember this phrase. I'm doing what I'm meant to do, and I can have this other opportunity of being out in the sun at a better time for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, next time if my wife gives me crap or whatever. No. I was meant to do this. Staying within the confines of our home. This is destiny. Sprinkler fitter Jesus. Going back to how I was saying, my buddy's wife will not have any marital congress if the kids are awake and in the house. He said it's the same for him, but his kids have to be asleep for at least a half an hour before his wife will go for it. I wonder if there's a time frame for my buddy. I'll have to ask him about that.
Everybody's got their thing. Speaking of summer, Janel Klein is stopping by this morning, and she will be, I hope our website is our website working? You can put up pictures and everything?
I haven't checked it out yet today.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Okay, well, someone get back to me. I really hope that our website is...
It's working.
Okay. Where folks can look at pictures. We can put pictures up there because Janel Klein will be modeling bikinis this morning to try and settle on one that she'll wear on our Independence Day booze cruise next Friday night.
This is going to be so cool.
I think this will be fun.
Yeah, this will be a blast.
I don't know how many she's bringing, but she's going to model them, and we're going to pick one out for her, and that's the one she'll be wearing on the Booze Cruise. We'll get somebody on the boat later on this morning. It's already next Friday. You guys know my bikini modeling story, don't you?
I'm not positive. I'm not sure. Tell us.
It's like the ultimate example of how friggin' dumb we dudes really are, where a gal can sit on our head and we don't realize, oh, she wants me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The missed signals. This is the ultimate story of missed signals. And so many of us dudes could tell stories up and down about, oh, for Christ's sake, I can't believe I was so dumb I didn't realize.
Well, that goes on opposite ends of the spectrum, too, right? Where some guy mysteriously thinks someone who is clearly not into them is into them.
Sure.
It seems like there's not a lot of middle ground with certain people.
Another layer to our stupidity. We miss signals where women want us.
Or interpret signals that have never been there.
Or we interpret signals that are just absolutely not there.
Yes.
You're right.
Hey, did you notice she said hi to me today? Yeah, she wants me.
Exactly. This was, I was doing a bar gig. Christ, this is 20 years ago. One of my regular bar gigs up at Pav's in Andover, which I think is now a Walmart. I love to tell old Pav stories, but there was this waitress there, and she was just a super fox. I mean, I would get short of breath when she was around me. This gal was just stunning. And we were very flirty with each other. For whatever reason, on God's green earth, she thought I was cute. So we were very flirty with each other. I had the feeling that at one point, things were going to give way, and the two of us were going to mangle each other, right? So, but we hadn't gotten physical yet, and she walks up to me and says, "What are you doing this weekend?" And I said, "I don't know." And she said, "Well," and this was as summer was approaching, "I'm going to the Mall of America. I'm going to try on some bikinis. I need a new bikini or two for this summer. Will you want to come with me?" And I said, straight up, full-blown adult male, I said, I don't know. I don't like the Mall of America. I hate Bloomington. I hate going there. So, no, I'll pass.
Yeah, that's one of those where sometime later, you just dart up in the middle of the night. What have I done?
Well, actually, I got that realization much sooner. She walks away with I do remember just the befuddled look on her face. She could not believe that I turned this down. Oh, I'd say maybe 2 minutes went by, and I suddenly said to myself, "Oh my God, you dumb son of a bitch." And I walked over to her swiftly, and I said, "Yes, I will join you at the Mall of America this weekend. Thank you for the invite. I look forward to it. Yeah, I'll come pick you up at 2 o'clock on Saturday." And I walked away thinking, what is wrong with me? I mean, I almost completely blew the whole works into oblivion. I couldn't believe it. I'll never forget that. What the hell is the matter with me?
Well, you're too focused on the location. That's all it was. You got hung up on it was at the mall and it was Bloomington.
I did.
Anything else she said, you weren't paying attention.
And I'm telling you what, we went on that trip to the mall to go bikini shopping, and it was one of the greatest days of my life.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, my God. And she knew exactly what she was doing, too, in this whole, teasing process and setting me up for what eventually would be a lights-out physical relationship. I think one of the first times she ducked into the dressing room, when I'm sitting somewheres outside the dressing room, she says, "Oh, no," right? From a distance. And I said, what's wrong? "Oh, God, this is ridiculous. This one is just way too small." Well, I better come in and check it. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, of course,
No, I'll judge this.
It's like a scene out of Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Right. And when I walked in there, I should have said, "Are you kidding me? Let's just have sex." I get it, right? But I didn't. I played out the rest of the afternoon because it was magical. The first bikini she tried on, she knew it was way, way too small. It was like how nowadays you can show under boob, side boob, upper, everything but the nipple, right? But 20 years ago, that wasn't a normal look, but that's what it looked like when I walked. You guys get the message.
It was like a music video in Miami.
Yeah, I'll go along with
sure, there's Pitbull rapping over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great day.
Absolutely. Nothing on but strings.
A great day. All right. We will hopefully hear from Randy Shaver, too, at around 7:30.
I think he'll be fine.
I hope so. What else is going on? Did I miss anything?
Dry-aged ribeye Jesus said that store, was it everything but water?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that joint. I think that's what it was.
In high school, we went there, and that's where I was telling you some of my high school buddies faked Australian accents, and the woman was, or the young lady who was talking to us was very agreeable. She was very sweet, very nice, and then at the end said, just, I want you guys to know, I go to high school with you. She was in the class below.
Right.
It was pretty good. They were busting.
Nice job.
And a friend of mine did bring in some water and said, here you go. Now you can change the name of the store. He was the guy I was telling you about that plays the air flute.
Air flute.
Yeah, he's very, very good. One of the best air flautists I've ever seen.
I remember you talking about that guy. So we got lots going on this morning. We're happy to have you. We got to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes here on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
This episode brought to you by Progressive. Whether you're driving, cooking, or doing laundry, Progressive knows the podcasts you listen to go best when they're bundled with another activity. Much like how their Progressive home and auto policies go best when they're bundled. Having these two policies together makes taking care of your insurance easier and could help you save too. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save over $775 on average. That's a whole lot of savings and protection for your favorite podcast listening activities, like going on a road trip, cooking dinner, and even hitting the home gym. Yep, your home and your car are even easier to protect when you bundle your insurance together. Find your perfect combo. Get a home and car insurance quote at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $779 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, you're a great crowd. Here's our stupid news report for today. We hope you enjoy it. We're starting off with another derelict criminal who embarrassed himself with his weak-ass fourth grade level failed getaway attempt. Here's the deal. Cops headed off to find a 38-year-old douche called Joshua Garrett. He was wanted on violation of his probation, don't you know? So the cops went to Garrett's workplace. They got word that Joshua had gone inside the building and nobody had seen him leave yet, so they went in to find him. The business appeared to be empty, but the cops noticed that some ceiling tiles were all kittywampus. And then the dead giveaway kicked in. The puke bag's cell phone started ringing, and it was obvious that he was hiding up in the ceiling.
I've sometimes wondered if I'd be any good hiding from the cops. You know, I've watched many, many years of the television show Cops. From time to time, I'll put on my super tight T-shirt in honor of Dan Abrams, and I'll watch On Patrol live on Friday or Saturday night. But I picked up a few things, and one of them was to turn my ringer off, because I've seen that before.
Yeah, so that will be step one, turn your ringer off. How well do you think you'd do from there?
Did I say run or hide from the cops?
You
hide.
Yeah,
okay,
because
there is a distinct difference. I would not be good at running from the cops if it involved physical activity.
No, not at this.
As far as hiding, I think I figured out some places where they miss them. Certainly things like the cell phone, I might even put it on airplane mode, and just in case they have the technology to track it and they just don't tell us that. The drones, could be a problem.
Oh, sure.
I always bring a ghillie suit with me any place I go, just in case. I've got a winter one, fall, summer. I've got all of them.
If you really want to hide and stay hidden from the police, I imagine, and this, I wouldn't have come up with this 2 minutes ago, but with you bringing it up, rule number one, you got to get rid of your phone. You just got to say goodbye to your phone. Just throw it in a river, right? That's step one.
That's I would. That's the first thing I'd think of, only because of stories like this or watching some of the shows. That is pretty hilarious. Have you had that happen where somebody called it the worst possible time?
Someone calling it the worst possible time. I can't think of any.
Like, have you used your phone to pay for anything?
Never.
Okay, so my wife a couple times has called in that moment where it screws everything up and the teller's looking at you like, hey, thanks, a-hole, for holding up the line.
So what happens?
Or she'll call in the middle of trying to pay something with my phone. So it kicks it out, right? It doesn't work at that point.
Boy, I don't know. I just can't think of one surefire way to elude the police. They're pretty damn good.
You got to cover yourself in feces. Specifically, Dana.
They can't track you.
Yeah, and then if they find you, they just don't want to touch you. And maybe they decide, you know what he did wasn't that bad.
You have to cover yourself in feces if you're Dana.
If you're Dana,
okay.
Yeah. Specifically Dana.
You get rid of the phone because they can track you like that. Then also, if you've had the COVID shot, they can track you that way, too.
I forgot about that, yeah.
But that's an obvious one.
At this point, we've heard just about every angle possible. We had the dude who was hiding on the interior of a couch, did we not?
Yeah, it was a lady.
Yeah. A lady, maybe.
I remember it looked like she was like, the couch was giving birth.
Yes.
They tried to pull her out of that thing.
She dove under the cushions of the couch. They found her, but that was a pretty interesting idea. Oh, yeah, the picture of the police pulling this woman out from under the cushions of the couch was one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen on the godless internet.
It was like a bunch of cattle ranchers pulling a calf. There's a stubborn calf out of its mother.
Yes. She looked just as disheveled as a newborn calf.
Yeah. Precast.
After getting rid of the phone, Josh, I don't know where I would go. I don't know where I would go or what idea I might have.
Yeah,
to stay hidden.
You can't hide under a bed like when you were a kid. That doesn't work.
No.
I've also, I figure probably, when you just cover your eyes like a little kid and then you can't see and you assume no one can see, that won't work.
Doesn't work either.
Precast wizard Jesus said, climb a tree. Best hiding place ever. I was at a party that got busted up once, so I climbed the tree and watched the cops chase everyone else but me. Got away scot-free.
That's brilliant.
That is good. I wouldn't think that, I
No,
guess.
me neither.
Climbed a tree.
So there's physical activity. I got to figure something out that's not a lot of physical activity. The dog, you're right, when you got the canine, that's going to be difficult.
That's limited. Sure. Climbing a tree is limited to the young people once you get above 20.
Also, the other dogs, right? You see that where you got a whole neighborhood to run, and one of those guys, they jump into a backyard that's got 3 dogs in it.
All right.
And they start going wild.
Yeah, the dogs go wild, or they get their ass bit or something.
This guy was hiding up in the ceiling of his workplace. They would have found him anyway, but like I said, the icing on the cake is when his phone rang. Of all the times for one of your bros to blow you up, right, when you're hiding from the cops in the damn ceiling.
It'd be even better if he had a really embarrassing ringtone, too.
Yeah, I don't know. An old New Kids on the Block song or something like that.
Exactly.
That would be. The police got cute with this on social media, too. They said, we spotted a hand sticking out from under the insulation. Thankfully, the hand was attached to a body and not just some random disembodied hand that would have taken this situation into a whole other direction. The cops, they love this. They love to tell their jokes on social media after making an arrest. So they pulled Dinkus out from the ceiling, and they arrested the hell out of him. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like I say it about once a week, but sometimes it's got to be fun to be a cop. With all the crap you have to deal with and disrespect, have just a night like that be a nice relief, don't you think?
Absolutely. That's fun. That's fun for the cops and everyone involved.
Also, of course, love the videos where a cop's hiding, or not a cop, they usually don't have to hide, but the criminals hiding in a ceiling and they fall right through.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Awesome videos online of that. Awesome videos of criminals falling through the ceiling of, say, the liquor store that they just broke into. That's great stuff.
I'm forgetting I was just watching a show over the weekend where one of the cops was like kind of poking the ceiling just to see where there was some resistance because they thought the dude was up in the ceiling. And he poked through it, and the guy, at the right spot, the guy fell straight down. That was awesome. It reminds me of, I had like a little bulge in my ceiling many years ago. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And I got on a ladder and kind of touched it, and it's just like a world's giant cyst. It popped all over me. I had a leak upstairs in the bathroom, and I was just coated in just wet drywall goo.
Yeah. Oh, Lord above. You know, folks these days have no shame at all. When the hits the fan, they will deny. They'll try and shift blame. They'll try and shift blame in all directions. Drunk or sober. In this case, we got a drunk person who came up with something interesting to take the blame for their own F-up. In Wyoming, locals found an abandoned car that had traveled well off the road in a remote area. It was a GMC Yukon, if that matters at all to you. So these locals found this vehicle, again, way off the road, middle of nowheres. They notified the cops. By God, they did. Boy, did I do some poor editing here?
I don't know.
Just give me a minute here. Yeah, I think I did some poor editing here. But I think I can figure it out. The cops looked up the license plate and all that. That's what I left out. The cops looked up the license plate on the vehicle, and that's pretty easy to find out, who is the owner.
They also looked at the VIN number, right?
Sure.
So they confirmed it in two different ways.
Right, okay.
And I bet there's, might have some stolen plates, but some of these morons probably aren't thinking about the VIN number.
There you go. That's the only part that I mistakenly edited out. So right when the cops were about to up and call this lady to ask her what gives with the vehicle off the road, she called them. And she had a hell of a story to dump on them. She said she was carjacked. Oh, God, no. She said she was carjacked. She was hit over the head, she said, and then kept inside the car while the carjackers drove the car off the road, and then the carjackers left without her vehicle. I'll be damned. That sounds terrible.
Lady, yeah.
That sounds absolutely horrifying. Luckily, the cops aren't 4 years old. And they asked her, why would criminals carjack someone just to keep them in the vehicle and then drive off of a road into a gully in a remote area and then leave? She didn't have a solid answer for that one. And when the cops looked up her track record, they saw that she was on probation and barred from consuming alcohol.
Yeah, I think once the cops saw through my poorly constructed ruse, I would have to go into hiding mode again, where I just cover my eyes and wait for them to say, well, where the hell did he go?
He's gone. He's gone.
The police were able to easily put two and two together, and this lady is a moron that likely got full of beer and goat rodeoed her car into the damn ditch and then just got the hell out of there. She was hauled off to jail. Sorry, lady. People aren't as dumb as you thought. So, it's time to take your medicine.
Hiding from the cops. Here's a suggestion from Big Mig Welder. He said he would just get himself one of those bamboo straws and hop into a pond. It'd be real Scooby-Doo-like.
Oh, man. Man, that's brilliant.
That's a good one.
That was a regular trick on the Scooby-Doo show. Somebody, sometimes the bad guy, sometimes Scooby and Shaggy, when they were real scared, they'd jump into a body of water, submerge themselves, and then just breathe through the straw. Josh, maybe you should try that in the bathtub this weekend. See if it actually works.
I've tried that before.
You have?
When I was a kid, yeah. I grabbed a straw.
How many hours did you survive underneath the surface of the water?
I don't think it was seconds before I panicked.
Oh.
Yeah. The straw's not very big.
No.
No, and then I tried snorkeling once, and I don't know how people do it. I sucked at it so bad. I basically drowned. I took in so much water. I couldn't figure out. Maybe I'm not buoyant enough. I don't know.
Any of Wappel, Dana, you ever try that snorkeling?
Yes.
I
was decent.
I struggled with it, too, at first, Josh. But then I got used to it. I did. But I understand what you're saying. It's hard to figure out the this and the that involved in breathing through a snorkel. But once I got the hang of it, I think I did okay. But I didn't last terribly long.
No, I could go under the water with the snorkel, and then sometimes when I came up, I could clear it, but other times I couldn't. And then I'd just be choking on water.
Well, the reason that I didn't last long wasn't because of the snorkel. Like I said, I got the hang of it. We were in, what do you call that place again? Hawaii. And we decided to jump into the stupid ocean. Trust me, I wasn't excited about this at all. I don't like the ocean. I don't get what's going on down there, so I stay away as often as possible. But I went along with it. I'm snorkeling around the ocean, and next thing you know, I was approached by these gorgeous, giant. Well, maybe they weren't gorgeous. They were very shiny. They looked like giant shiner minnows for you fishermen and fisherwomen out there. Oh, I'd say each damn one of them was a couple feet long. Very large, slender. They looked like giant shiner minnows, and they all kind of swam up on me and were checking me out. Maybe a good 8 or 10 of them, right? And I thought, cool, because that was my first real interaction with ocean life, or whatever you want to call it, sea life. Cool, look at these shiny, kind of pretty looking. And then I'm telling you, Cubby, faster than you can say Jack Robinson, they went about 300 miles an hour the other way. And what crossed my mind was, okay, I didn't scare them. What the hell's coming up behind me?
Oh, yep. Sure.
I'd be scared of a shark or something like that.
Well, of course I was thinking about a shark. So I did not, Cubby, I didn't even look behind me. I just made a beeline for the beach. I shed off all that stupid snorkeling gear, and I remained on the sand for the rest of the day. I didn't even care to know what it was that scared those stupid fish away the way that it did.
Was there any coral where you were, what do we call that again?
Snorkeling?
That I don't remember, coral.
Oh, I remember that distinctly because I got cut up on that stuff. Oh, so itchy. So itchy. Hot Cocoa Jesus says it's about the face seal. Her guy had trouble with it because of his beard, and she said she just shaved hers first. That's how you do the snorkeling.
Snorkeling.
I don't know what I did wrong. It was something. I did, obviously.
Snorkeling is about. I don't know what. I'm Canadian now. Snorkeling is
Australian.
about the face seal. How well it. Okay, I'll remember that if I ever bother. I likely will never bother snorkeling again.
I gotta say, if you want to feel dumb, screw up snorkeling, which looks like it should be the easiest thing in the world.
Now, back to hiding from the police. Where's a good spot? Josh was wondering. Where's a good spot? And it's bringing up all these great stories from the past of people who tried to hide from the police and failed terribly. I forgot about this one. Oh, no. This is terrible. But I remember furniture installer Jesus, the dude who was hiding from the police and got ate by an alligator.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He was laying in the weeds down by a lake, wasn't he, to hide from the police, and an alligator said, "Don't mind if I do." You remember that one?
Yep. There was just On Patrol Live a couple weeks back where it was in Florida, and there was a dude running, and he got to a swampy area, and the cops are like, well, F this. We're not going alligator's probably going to get him. We're not going anywhere near that.
Damn. All right, this here is certainly embarrassing, pathetic, childish. A big shot lawmaker up there in, Vermont, has had to publicly apologize after being caught on video repeatedly pouring water into a colleague's bag over and over again for effing months.
Yeah, you said it. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
This was what they call here an apparent personal rivalry between two state representatives. Politicians, man, what a clown show from top to damn bottom. This lady lawmaker, a total effing embarrassment, publicly apologized to her colleague in front of the Vermont House of Representatives. She was caught on video pouring water into he brings a bag to work every day, I don't know. She was pouring water into his bag multiple times over the course of 5 months. Again, this is not a story about rival third graders. These are elected officials. Mary Morrissey, she's the wet bandit, if you want to call her that. She said, "I'm truly ashamed of my actions." No, you're not. I don't believe her. There were videos of Morrissey pouring cups of water into a personal bag that belonged to another state representative by the name of Jim Carroll. Carroll mounted a camera above where he hung his bag every day to find out who the hell was doing this. At first, this is why I don't believe this lady is sorry. At first, when Carroll walked up and said, because he had it on video, "What gives with the pouring of the water into my bag?" she denied it. There's video, stupid ass. This is why I don't believe that she's sorry.
I hope that politicians don't get a reputation of being clowns now after this story. What a shame that would be.
I'm with you.
Man, she might have ruined it for the rest of them.
She later apologized, but it's too late. Too late. She admitted her behavior was disrespectful. I like this part. She said she will be working towards resolution and restoration through our legislative process. What are you talking about? You trying to throw us with big words? Shut up. Just say you're sorry or quit. She asked for forgiveness from her colleagues and the citizens of Vermont. "Hi, I'm State Representative Mary Morrissey, and I'm a child."
I don't, for mental health purposes, I try and just skim the basics of what's going on. I don't really want to pay attention too much to politicians. But I think I would pay attention if that's the person that represented my district or whatever it was. Maybe I would vote against that.
Right.
Well, maybe I don't want to, besmirch somebody else's politician. But for me personally, that would go a factor as far as who I'm voting for. Like, wait, isn't she the lady that kept pouring water in the guy's bag?
You're acting like a pissy little kid. She did not provide a reason for her water dumpings. I hate these people so much. I do. I hate them.
I always think, if I'm going to do whatever it is, I try and think about what would it be like if I got caught doing this? Like, boy, I'm kind of horny. Do I want to masturbate at work? That sure sounds like something, but what if I got caught? You got to think ahead a little bit.
Right.
And at no point, she's got to be, you would think somewhat intelligent if she worked her way up, to being some sort of politician, elected official.
I don't know.
You could make an argument there, I'm sure, but
I don't even think it takes intelligence anymore. It just doesn't.
Who knows?
Josh, you've caught enough masturbators at work that I feel like the world. You're fine. Go ahead. If you ever want to let one loose, go ahead.
I'm going to recommend against that. But if that's your advice, you go ahead. But something like that. Okay, I'm a politician. I have a public job. I really want to mess with this dude, but I got to find a different way to do it.
It's gone in a different place. Public officials these days, it seems to me at least, they don't think they have to carry themselves in any certain way. It's just the Wild West.
It's different.
No longer is there the mindset that, I represent the people, and I should act accordingly. No, it's just nonsense. Again, I'll use the reference. It's like a bunch of kids. That's how it comes off to me. It's a bunch of friggin' angry kids.
Well, and not to get too into the weeds, but I remember like back in the day, it wasn't like insults being thrown back and forth. It was more attacking policies than the person.
Again, like kids would do.
Type 1 Cop Jesus on the topic of getting away from cops. He said, "You're right. If you flee on foot, hide in an alligator because I'm not going near it. Or a safer answer would be just run faster than me." Yeah, that's how you get away from cops. But my uncle, who's a police officer, used to always say, you can't outrun radio. meaning, yeah, you might outrun me, but I'm going to have a partner that's going to get you.
Oh, sure.
And then, they've got the drones, so it's a little tougher.
Helicopters.
All right.
I'll show you a helicopter.
Ooh.
I was talking about my penis in a circular motion.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never been lucky enough for something like this here to happen to me. Well, I guess I should say I've never been lucky enough to be, on the ground floor or in the front row, ringside seats for something like this. Because I wouldn't want this to happen to me, but I wouldn't mind seeing it firsthand. I do enjoy the stories. Police in India have kicked in an investigation after a fella claimed he found part of a human finger in his ice cream cone.
Oh, that's not where you want a human
Yucky.
finger to be.
Tell me your top 3 favorite places for a human finger, Dana.
Well,
I'm going to say attached to a hand.
Uh-huh.
That's one.
Which is attached to a fist. And where does that fist go, Dana?
Oh, you know where it goes, Josh.
A glove.
Police in India are looking into a dude's claim he found part of a human finger in his iced cream cone. It sounds to me like this poor bastard ordered a few cones to be delivered to his house, like a DoorDash, Uber Eats type of a deal.
Uber?
Kind of interesting, if you ask me, to have ice creams delivered to your house, but that doesn't matter at all to the story.
Well, like that's Schwann's, right? Wasn't that kind of their thing? They deliver all that stuff? Like
Sure.
Yes.
The ice cream and stuff. I have, back shooting 6th and 7th grade, had some family friends. They would order all the ice cream from Schwann's.
Yeah. I remember that gimmick, but would you call a restaurant and order 4 ice cream cones to be delivered to your...
No.
Probably not. I mean, nowadays, that's not uncommon.
Again, it doesn't matter to the story. I just think that's odd. I mean, by the time the driver gets there, my ice cream... Anyway, dude said that when he took a big old mouthful of his iced cream, he felt something unusual in his yapper. And he spit out what appeared to be a portion of a human finger about an inch long, Ski. That's a pretty good chunk.
Yeah.
That's so gross.
Apparently, he shared a video online that shows the finger chunk sticking out of his iced cream. You didn't look at that video, did you, Josh?
I didn't want to look at it. I don't have the stomach I used to. Some of that stuff kind of gets me.
The dude said, I felt a solid piece in my mouth.
Oh.
I thought it might be a nut.
Oh.
Oh, no, that would be even worse because then you'd be
That's
wondering.
a knuckle, yeah.
You'd be wondering where the other one was. The local police have sent the partial finger for what they call here forensic examination. This disaster could be connected to a crime, they said. The folks who sold the ice cream are cooperating with police, and they're going to try to figure out what the hell happened.
Sounds like they need to check the factory.
Check the factory, he says.
You know where they make all the ice cream? They got all those big machines. Maybe employee's missing a finger.
Is there any employee here without a finger?
Dude raises his
that's
hand.
the two, yeah. Give me a high 4.
Dude raises his hand and says, yeah, there's something I should have told you.
Probably should have told you this
I
week
probably
ago.
should have stepped up a few days ago, but yeah.
I should have looked a little harder for that.
I don't know.
Everyone halt the strawberry ice cream.
That'd be terrible. Terrible. And you know the worst part, it might put you off ice cream, and I love ice cream and sweet stuff like that. That'd be a real shame if I couldn't bring myself to eat it anymore.
I don't think that would for me.
I think
I'm not an ice cream person, but if, let's say it's my favorite food, I would definitely think about it, and I would investigate further.
I don't know anyone who's ever... I mean, I know a couple folks who have bit into... One dude ordered a sandwich and bit into a bone, and it pushed a couple of teeth out of his mouth.
Oh. Yeah, so I was going to mention it's not anywhere near finding a finger, but
No.
we tried. There's this fried chicken restaurant. I was like, oh my gosh, you got to try it. It's insane. It's not KFC or Popeyes. Those are the only two I knew before this. And we're like, all right, let's go. And my stepdaughter ordered a chicken sandwich, and it was like it was all bone in there. They didn't debone it. I was trying to figure out. I've never heard of something like that before in a sandwich.
Hairs, bones.
Dude, I found a hair the other day in some food. If you would have wrapped it around a fork, it would look like the biggest bite of spaghetti you've ever had. It was so long and there's so much hair. It just kept going. It was like when a magician pulls those scarves out of his top hat. It just kept going.
Very few of you are going to get this reference, but so it was like Artemis Pyle made your sandwich?
Pretty much.
Oh, God. Artemis Pyle. Look him up. Go ahead if you don't know Artemis. That's terrible. So again, I've never seen something like that firsthand. I would like to. It would be sickening, of course, but I just kind of want to be able to say that I was there when, say, one of you bit into a sandwich and there's a hand in there.
Vertically challenged, she's just found part of a fingernail on some pizza, when she had some pizza delivered.
I'd power through.
Part of a fingernail. Wow.
No way. This person said they went to a chicken restaurant and found a feather still attached and deep fried.
They missed one feather.
I'm not laughing at your pain. That's just kind of funny to picture.
You've had enough of your day's work when there's only one feather left to pluck and you just say, you know what, it's someone else's problem.
Maybe it was a promotion. Find the lucky feather. You eat free for a year.
That's great stuff.
Feather.
Good luck to all of you who are out having something to eat this morning. We got to take a break. We'll be right back.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
They got their heads up their ass.
On 93X.
Sports. On the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
We are very sad now to relay this information that has just been released by the Giants that the great Willie Mays has passed away. He passed away peacefully this afternoon at the age of 93. Michael Mays, Willie's son, quoted as saying, "My father has passed away peacefully and among loved ones. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my broken heart for the unwavering love you have shown him over the years. You have been his life's blood." A 24-time All-Star. The Say Hey Kid is the ultimate forever Giant. He had a profound influence not only on the game of baseball, but on the fabric of America. He was an inspiration and a hero who will be forever remembered and deeply missed.
John Miller, one of the great voices in Major League Baseball, announcing the passing of Willie Mays last night while calling the Giants game. Maybe the greatest talent that baseball has ever seen. He's gone at 93 years old. I'm sure we're going to get into it with Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder. Boy, Randy's going to be pissed, too. Not only is he upset, I'm sure, over the passing of Willie Mays, but after that hockey game last night, Randy's going to be pissed.
That's for sure.
The Oilers they won't let it go. They won't let it friggin' go. And all Randy he just wants to be done with hockey.
He hates Connor McDavid.
He hates Conrad McDavid. Anyway, we'll get to the hockey game. We'll get to Willie Mays, the Twins. Rain delay kept me from seeing the end of last night's Twins game against Tampa Bay, but it was a fine ending. It was a great ending. Real quick, before we have to move on, some people have texted in items that they found in their food. We had a story in the Stupid News about someone found a finger in their stinking ice cream cone. People that texted in talking about what they found in their food. Fingernail clipping in my chicken Alfredo.
Oh, yuck.
Fingernail clipping in my chicken, a pube in my tuna sandwich.
Oh.
Come on, you can't let a pube slow you down. Get some.
You can't have a pube anywhere near tuna. Come on.
I won't let a pube slow me down.
No, you get some. You just you cut through it. Pube in my tuna sandwich ain't gonna slow me down. Here's a listener that says, "My grandma found a cow tooth in her cheeseburger." A cow tooth.
I don't know if I'd recognize.
Yeah, how did you determine that?
Well, because Grandma
they
probably
have lovely smiles. I guess I've never really noticed one.
Grandma maybe was an old farm girl. She found a cow tooth in her cheeseburger. And how about this one? This is the strangest one. I mean, a cow tooth. That's pretty strange. There's no explanation behind this, and I believe they kept going. Listener says, "I was eating a banana the other day, and there was a crunchy part."
Not supposed to be any crunch in the banana.
I saw that text. I was eating a banana, as I read that text.
What the hell was the crunchy?
I've had that happen before.
What was the crunch?
I don't know. Did the sugars just bond and get all hard? I don't know. I don't know what's going on in there.
I eat bananas damn near air day, Cubby.
I do too.
I've never crunched my way through a banana. That would worry me.
I've had it once.
Josh, when you had that giant spaghetti hair, did you almost barf after eating it?
No, for whatever reason, hair doesn't get me.
Spaghetti hair.
My wife, if she finds hair in food, she won't eat it.
Yeah,
and her hair's everywhere in the house. I mean, I understand it's different if you're about to consume it, but for whatever reason, that really gets her. But that doesn't bug me too much.
Even when I see a hair in my food and then I try to eat it, I then think that I'm eating the hair still. I'm like, oh, that was a hair. Every single bite.
It plays with you.
That was a hair.
It F's with your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Big time spiders hang around bananas, says Snot Rocket Jesus. Oh, I can tell you that for a fact.
That was the first thing that crossed my mind. Did a spider end up dead? How does a spider get inside a banana, Cubby?
Well, when we used to, I worked at a grocery store and I'd help out some of the produce guys quite often. And when we get those huge things of bananas, these big boxes of bananas, you'd find... we never found a live one, but you find these giant tarantulas sometimes.
Oh, man. That'll throw me off.
That's a hell of a deal. We got to take a break. Josh's news is coming up.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
The Bigger Pockets portfolio of podcasts are worthy of your investment.
Short-term rental, once you purchase the property, you're now in hospitality.
New episodes available every day.
I often tell people the easier it is to find a deal, the less likely that deal is actually a deal.
Bigger Pockets, On the Market, Rookie Real Estate, or Money Podcast.
There's one sad-looking house that's still for sale with very bad pictures in a suboptimal location.
The Bigger Pockets Podcast on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
We are very sad now to relay this information that has just been released by the Giants that the great Willie Mays has passed away at the age of 93.
Brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people. And he makes a miraculous catch as he stops a step short of the wall.
Well, some sad news that we covered a little bit ago. Willie Mays, one of the greatest baseball players of all time, died at the age of 93 yesterday, leaving behind a remarkable legacy as a two-time MVP, 24-time All-Star, and 12-time Gold Glove Award winner. Known as the Say Hey Kid, Mays was celebrated for his electrifying style of play and exceptional all-around skills on the field. His memorable performances in the World Series, including the catch in 1954, solidified his status as a baseball legend. Beyond his playing career, Mays continued to be a prominent ambassador for the game, leaving an indelible mark on baseball history. With numerous accolades, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, Mays' impact on the sport world will never be forgotten as Major League Baseball mourns the loss of a true icon. He was with the Giants organization between 1951 and 52 and 1954 and 1974 because he served in the military and missed 2 of those seasons before joining the Mets to end his career. He retired at the end of 1973.
What a poke. 93 years.
Yeah.
What an insane talent. Wonderful guy.
Anybody and everybody who was a part of baseball has, said some really nice things yesterday. Some announcers calling games yesterday were pretty emotional.
I think he was the greatest that ever played.
You know, a lot of people had said the same thing. He was the best all-around baseball player that ever existed.
Absolutely.
May he rest in peace. A man's in custody after setting a woman's vehicle on fire while she was inside it. Officers went to a Walgreens in St. Cloud at 10:11 a.m. Monday for a report of a vehicle fire. They believe the 39-year-old suspect bought a bottle of rubbing alcohol from the store, went outside, and then poured it on a vehicle and lit it on fire.
Ex-girlfriend problems?
Didn't know him at all.
What?
They had never met.
Oh.
No. That's the world we're living in.
Oh, my God.
Enjoy your day in public, everybody listening.
F me.
Police say a woman was in her vehicle in line at the drive-thru pharmacy and didn't see the man pour the alcohol on her vehicle. In fact, she wasn't even aware it was on fire until eventually seeing the flames. She got out of her car and extinguished the fire with a bottle of water. Authorities said the woman and the suspect don't know each other, and it appears the vehicle was targeted at random. That's comforting.
Jesus, criminy.
A parolee's been jailed following a shooting in the parking lot of a Massachusetts grocery store. Not because the man pulled the trigger, as the wounded man did that himself, but because the man took off with the gun and ran off with it. There are a lot of bad decisions made in a short amount of time, Bay County Sheriff Troy Cunningham said. Deputies responded to the reported shooting at a Kroger shortly before 11 a.m. Saturday. They arrived and found a 28-year-old man suffering a gunshot wound to his upper thigh. That's right next to the penis. The man had been putting his .45 caliber in his waistband when he somehow sent a bullet right into his own leg. His 29-year-old friend, for some reason, grabbed the gun and fled the scene before deputies arrived.
What the hell's that all about?
The injured man legally owned the handgun. The sheriff's office said it made no sense why the friend would take it because it was legal for him to have it. Once in custody, the man admitted to taking the gun and hiding it behind a Tractor Supply Co. nearly 2 miles from the Kroger.
The guy's watched too many movies or something.
Yeah, maybe he thought he was helping his buddy out. Or thought, oh, shoot, he can't chase me. He shot himself in the leg. My gun now.
Free gun.
He faces charges of violating parole and being a felon in possession of a firearm.
What a schmuck.
As Asian cop Jesus used to say, we don't catch the smart ones. An Iowa City resident was found walking down the sidewalk carrying a handgun last week, but police say he won't face any charges because he's 3. His mom, however, is in a heap of trouble. A strapped toddler walking down the streets of Iowa. 31-year-old, Samantha Hall is charged with making firearms available to a minor. In a criminal complaint, police said Hall's 3-year-old was seen walking down the sidewalk carrying a handgun with a full magazine about 7:47 p.m. Friday. A passerby took the gun away from the kid. Hall then grabbed the child and took him back to her house. Police said Hall told them she was cleaning and didn't realize the child had walked away. Police, however, said she knowingly left the firearm on a short nightstand, causing a substantial risk to the child's safety.
Best case scenario, there was a realtor kind of driving a couple around the neighborhood trying to sell them a home. And right when the couple said, is this a safe neighborhood? The realtor said, yeah. And then they see a 3-year-old walking down the street with a handgun.
Just packing heat.
He's security. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
An Arkansas man's in police custody after investigators said he fondled the customer's genitals while fitting them for a back brace. Yeah, that's tough to say it was an accident. The victim told investigators they visited a prosthetic company for a back brace fitting. That was 43-year-old Brian Fairbanks working that day, April 9th. After Fairbanks finished measuring the victim's upper torso, he requested the victim remove his pants for additional measurements. During the process, Fairbanks inappropriately touched the victim's testicles and penis.
For God's sake, my back hurts like hell, and now I've been jagged against my will at the same time.
It's one of those things where I don't know what I'd do if I was in that person's situation, their situation. Like, I would certainly think, well, I'm taking my pants off. I might question it, but this is what this guy does.
I'm pretty gullible.
Yeah, I'm with you, Josh. I'd be like, well, I don't know. He's done this before. He clearly knows how this process works.
It doesn't seem right, but I don't want to make it awkward. I mean, if it's not already awkward.
I'd probably end up with my pants off. I'm gullible. I would imagine, okay, I don't know the process here, so.
I haven't been lucky enough to have a man fondle my well, I guess I have. For the turn your head and cough thing, checking for hernia at the doctor's office.
It's always fun.
What am I talking about? Doctors have.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, I would realize some guy that probably shouldn't be touching my genitals is touching my genitals. And, of course, what do? You give him 15 minutes to knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
The victim later spoke with their physical therapist, who confirmed there was no valid reason to conduct such for that type of behavior during a back brace fitting, and his pants didn't need to come off. The victim reported the incident to police and filed a complaint with the business.
Oh, hell yeah. When I had that testicular torsion problem, Josh, and had to go on over to the hospital, I bet you before I was there for an hour, I had 7 or 8 different people fondle my bag, and I'm not entirely sure all of them worked. I'm not entirely sure all of them were employed at the hospital.
A man with more than 100 videos of other men using the bathrooms at Minneapolis St. Paul International.
Can I get a copy of that?
No, the cops have.
The cops? Okay.
Maybe if you show up to a Christmas party. I don't know if they watch those videos or what they watch. He will have probation. He's not going to be going to jail. As previously reported, police first got a report of a man who was taking pictures under the bathroom stalls in the men's restroom at Gate E2, Terminal 1, 9:30 a.m., February 16th, 2023.
Well, I'll give you something to look at if you stick a camera under the stall while I'm in there. I'll give you something to look at. I don't know if it's going to thrill you much. But
I'll make it worth your while.
Oh, absolutely.
The suspect admitted to filming men in bathrooms for months, and police reportedly found 143 videos of men using the employee bathrooms, which appeared to be recorded from August of 2022 through February of last year.
I don't know if any of the rest of you do this, but I always keep one turd in my hand just in case somebody puts a camera underneath the...
I never consider that.
Just in case.
Yeah. I mean, I bring one with me and a necklace if I need a backup turd, if I've already finished. It's hard to stop when you start.
It is.
I haven't had to use it yet, but I have it there if I need it.
The attorney in Ohio who was disciplined for pooping in a Pringles can, remember that?
Yeah, I do. How could you forget?
One more time, he did what?
He pooped in Pringles cans, I guess. And then he tossed it into a parking lot.
Tossed him into a parking lot.
Yeah, he's got his law license back. Jack Blakesley finished serving his 6-month sanction that the Ohio Supreme Court imposed in November. It was November of 2021 that surveillance cameras recorded footage of the criminal defense attorney dropping a Pringles potato chip can into the parking lot of a crime victim advocacy center.
Got it.
The can contained human feces, his. During the disciplinary process, he claimed he didn't target anyone in particular and said he pulled the Pringles can prank about 10 times that year.
That classic, well-known pooping in a Pringles can prank.
Yeah.
He was going after, this was like a threat to witnesses?
He said no.
It was not a...
No.
How does he explain why he was doing that?
He had to go there for some sort of hearing of sorts or some sort of meeting, and he just decided, I'm going to start doing it. So he claims, no. I wasn't making a statement.
Okay.
I'm just a guy that likes pooping in Pringles cans and throwing them out places.
And he is lawyering again.
He is back to being a lawyer. The court said that he's complied with the conditions, including no further misconduct, and he got his license back.
Is his
That's
phone,
my guy.
Phone's ringing off the hook, I imagine?
Sure.
I'd hire this guy.
Yeah, he only got a 6-month stay there. He's the guy.
I mean,
He likes to have fun.
If you have to go, there are worse places than a Pringles can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it was as simple as that, Dana.
I don't know that I could do the aiming that well. I mean, I'd assume you probably could. You'd have to be close contact with that.
Yeah, the list is not long of worse places to go, but I suppose there are worse places.
I mean, I'd rather do that than my pants.
Sure.
That's about all I can come up with, to be honest with you.
The bed.
Okay.
Well, that's all I got.
I've got pants between me and the bed, but I hear what you're saying.
It depends on, okay, I don't know. That was a loaded statement that you made because it's much easier to go in your bed than a Pringles can. You see where I'm going with this?
I do, yes.
It depends on how you define better, worse, this, that.
A mysterious monolith was found in a desert about 20 miles north of Vegas, eliciting memories of similar discoveries around the world in 2020.
I'm sorry, Cubby, I don't know what a monolith is.
It's like this big structure. In this case, it's like a mirrored. I think this one was like a giant rectangle-looking thing, a mirrored giant rectangle, right in the middle of the desert.
Okay.
The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said the shiny, reflective structure, similar to one found in Utah years ago, was spotted by its search and rescue unit over the weekend. How did it get there? Police asked on social media. We see a lot of weird things when people go hiking, like not being prepared for the weather, not bringing enough water. But check this out, police wrote on X, alongside an image of the monolith. The discovery comes months after a hiker in Wales captured a video of a mysterious UFO-like monolith on top of a hillside along the country's border with England. In November of 2020, one of the monoliths, estimated between 10 to 12 feet high, was found by Utah State wildlife employees.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking
They were counting sheep from a helicopter. That could be dangerous. The pilot might fall asleep. Then a week later, another monolith was discovered in California, north of Los Angeles. It's unclear who's definitively behind the placement of these monoliths, but a New Mexico artist collective claimed responsibility years ago. The column evoked memories of similar ones found in 2020 in locations including Texas, Florida, Romania, England's Isle of Wight, and even our next-door friends in Wisconsin had one.
Okay, these are just sci-fi nerds.
Yeah, well, artists claimed some of them.
Artists?
Yeah. That was kind of like their art, right? Other people are pretty convinced it's otherworldly.
Oh, effing pull your head out of your ass.
Could be. We sure would love it if you could join us on our booze cruise next week already, a week from this Friday. Here's how you can get on. Text LAUNCH, LAUNCH, not lunch, launch, like we're going to launch that boat right there.
Oh, sure.
To the Bloomington Kia text line, 651-989-9393 for a shot to win tickets to the Half-Ass Morning Show Booze Cruise next Friday on Stillwater Riverboats. Best of luck. We'd love to see you there.
Stillwater Riverboats.
The first European-born player to ever get an NBA MVP award, Dirk Nowitzki, 46.
Oh, boy.
He's a shooter. He's a maverick. Skitty Fixer Jesus texts a shout-out to his great-grandma T, 103. Hasn't missed watching a Twins game in over a decade and loves Dick Bramer. We all do.
The old folks can't get enough of the Twins and Dick Bramer, no doubt about it.
The fact of the matter, Jesus wants to give a shout-out to her mini-me. First week of marching band and got section leader already. First year with drums. Proud mama there. Tree Hugger Jesus sends well wishes to Solar Design Jesus having a tough time. She said they all miss him at work and hope he gets better soon, as do we, brother. Same with our friend Ashley, who's really under the weather today. Last couple of days she's been sick, and I guess today it's worse. So
I don't think she's going to make it.
She'll make it. She'll be fine. She's young.
She's pulled through worse.
She's feisty. So hopefully she's back soon this week. Happy belated birthday to Sadie Mae. Turned the big 02 yesterday from Blacktop Mojo Mofo Jesus. Happy belated 60th to Billy, the drummer for Uncle Chunk, don't you know, Nick?
F me running.
Yeah, his wife Nicole texted us to let us know it was his birthday yesterday. Happy 44th to OC Killer Jesus from your bro, Heather the Tricycle Jesus. And that's 93X News.
KARE 11's Randy Shaver.
It was the hardest wood I had ever touched.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There's a long drive, way back in center field, way back, it is. Willie Mays just brought this crowd to its feet with a catch, which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people.
And he makes a miraculous catch as he stops a step short of the wall.
I was going for the home run record. I didn't want to pass Willie Mays. That was my godfather. Willie sat me aside, and I was like, Willie, I can't do it. It's because it's too emotional. You're going to come out on the field. I'm going to start crying. And he said, you better pass me, and then you better keep going. I did it because of Willie.
Delivers, and Bonds hits one high deep towards right field, and into McCovey goal!
And he said, you pass me, and you keep passing next, and you keep going until they rip that uniform off you.
So many things happen with me on the baseball field that I could just look back and just replay every moment. I never had a day where somebody would not come up and say, I saw you make a play, I love you because of what you did for me, and it made me feel very, very proud because not only did I play baseball for the people, they enjoyed what I did.
By the way, the speaking voice there talking about passing Willie Mays on the home run list, that's Barry Bonds' speaking voice. A lot of people don't believe that's the way that he sounds, but that's the way that he sounds. Here she is. The wonderful Janel Klein has just sauntered her way into our radio studios. Hello, Jungle Jane.
Good morning, good morning.
Janelle's a little upset this morning. I'll tell you why in a minute. We should check and see if Randy Shaver is naked and stranded on an inflatable raft or what the hell is going on.
Holding on to a tree branch somewhere.
Randy's up on the Iron Range on vacation. A lot of rain up there, Randy?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Just a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit? I thought the area just got pumped last night.
Oh, we did. I was just being facetious.
Oh, my bad.
And here's the kicker. All the water we got last night, woke up this morning, there's no water working in the cabin. So,
oh, no.
Yeah.
The irony.
So, and it's not just us, it's all the people that are here at this near Giants Ridge. So It's kind of a mess here today. There's no doubt about it. It was a lot of rain over the last couple of days.
That's been crazy. Brad Ryder's on the telephone, too, I think. Hello, Brad Ryder.
Hello, good morning. We've got the Midwest covered because I'm in Chicago this morning.
Oh, we're all over the Midwest.
Yeah.
What are you doing in Chicago? Is this softball, baseball related?
No, not at all. I'm actually enjoying myself for a change rather than going to my kids' games. I'm down here with a couple of buddies, and we took in the Cubs-Giants game last night. We're going to go to the day game today, and then I'm coming home tomorrow. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Wow.
Wait a minute. So there must have been an emotional announcement last night at the Cubs game of the passing of Willie Mays. Were you aware that it happened before they made the...
No, it was a little weird being at the game where the Giants were playing when that happened. But, yeah, it was a little strange.
So you and some buddies just cutting loose on the city of Chicago, huh?
Yeah, just there's three of us. There's a couple of my buddies. We went to the game last night and going to go grab breakfast a little bit here and then head over and catch a day game and then
hit the strip club.
No, probably not. But
you're going to another baseball game today.
Yeah, we are.
Are you going to the White Sox game instead of the Cubs?
No, we're going to the Cubs game. We went to a night game last time, going to a day game today.
That's what you do, Nick. You love the Cubs.
Oh, God.
You love Wrigley.
Cub lover.
Wrigley is great.
Someone said something about the Boom Boom Room. God, I can't think of the name of this one joint we went to over there. It had like a Greek theme. I'll text you later, Brad.
Okay.
It was unbelievable.
Ask Janelle. Janelle knows.
Right.
Used to work there, Andy.
It was, I don't know.
She worked there in college.
Yeah.
Caesars or Gladiators or no Gladiator. That's up in north. We were talking about the Iron Range with Randy yesterday.
So you may hear some fire engines in the background. It just seems like it's nonstop when you're down here. But anyway,
what are we talking about? Fire engine?
Yeah, it felt like last night sleeping. I'm staying downtown. It just felt like there were fire engines and police engines all through the night. You're probably going to hear.
We're not hearing a damn fire truck. We're not hearing a damn thing.
Well, not right now, but you will. Probably.
Here's a listener that's texting in, Brad, saying, "I'll show you something, Wrigley."
Oh. We can get pictures now.
Yeah, we can.
Janelle came in. She's a little bummed that she missed out on our in-studio interview yesterday with Hulk Hogan.
She screamed.
She's a Hulkamaniac.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how I love pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you squealed and screamed.
I did. You know what would have been fun is seeing your guys' excitement about it.
We were pretty pumped.
Were you?
Oh, and he was awesome. We weren't
great.
100% sure what to expect, and he was so good.
Oh,
and
I'm so glad.
Janelle, so earlier in the day, there's people that started lining. He was scheduled to be here about 8:30 or 8:20ish, and there's people that started lining up outside about 7, right? And my wife had said, so she came in with my son. She's a huge dork for this kind of stuff, and so my wife had said when she left, there was about 3 times as many people that were there at 7 a.m.
You're kidding me? Outside the radio station?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay.
I saw that too. I kind of walked the Hulkster to the door, and there was a long line at that point. By 9 a.m., there was a long line of people to meet him.
That's cool.
Generally speaking, those people are just there to meet you guys. When you're
It's funny you say that because C. Willie Miles was in the studio yesterday. He missed you, Janelle, by the way.
Oh,
he said he wished you were
him.
here. He called you his radio wife. And he's like, did you see the line of people out there waiting for me this morning? We're all there to see C. Willie.
Heavenly Bodies is one joint out there in Chicago, Brad.
Okay.
But that's not the one where I went to. I swear to God, it had some kind of a lot of them have the Greek theme. You know how it goes. All right, so sorry, Janelle. Maybe next time a WWE Hall of Famer swings by, we'll have you in.
I hope so.
I'm more bitter about the Ric Flair omission. I would have rather met Ric Flair.
Well, I don't. What happened? Why, Josh? Why did you decide that we didn't want Brad near Ric Flair?
Well, it was reasons. Yeah, there were a lot of reasons.
A lot of reasons.
I'll tell you why. And Brad, you know why? The incident.
Oh,
that's right.
The incident. Well, we promoted the heck out of that. Maybe we just didn't tell you specifically. So you want to come in for something like that?
Well, I mean, it depends on who it is, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to give you a heads up.
Oh, well, I guess he'll just pick and choose.
Yeah. I'm choosy when it comes to WWE Hall of Famers.
Well, speaking of Hall of Famers, we lost another all-timer. A guy who I personally believe is the greatest talent that Major League Baseball has ever seen. Willie Mays died yesterday peacefully with his family. He was 93 years old. Randy Shaver, that's a tough one.
Yeah, very much so, because I don't think there's any argument that he was the greatest overall player in Major League Baseball history. When you talk about 5 tool guys, and that's become kind of this cliche and this mark that everybody tries to hit, he was truly that. He could run, he could hit for power, he had a great arm, he was an outstanding fielder, as we saw with the basket catch in the World Series in '54. I mean, Willie Mays just did it all. And, how lucky are we that, and I put myself in that category, to A, have watched him play on TV when I was growing up, but B, that he lived as long as he did so that generations of fans could have not only known who he was, but actually see him from time to time and get that perspective as the player that he was. So, I mean, when you're 10 years old and you're all standing around getting ready to play a pickup game out in the park, and you're all trying to decide who you're going to be that day, Willie Mays was always a guy. Willie Mays and Hank Aaron were always the guys who were chosen, if not the first 2 picks, certainly near the top, because we all wanted to emulate them. We all wanted to be those guys. So
just a wonderful guy. Yeah, it's a sad day. He lived a wonderful life. And you mentioned, baseball fans, young kids were lucky that he lived as long as he did, because he was able to inspire so many kids to play the game for so many years. 93 is a pretty good run. And he was inspiring kids from the 50s all the way up until today, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
There's an old story that when he got called up to the big leagues in 1951, he was actually playing. He started that season with the Minneapolis Millers. He was playing here in Minneapolis,
here.
Right? Yep. And he was tearing it up here. And the story goes is that the manager called and said, "Hey, come on up." And he said, "I'm not sure I'm ready." And so there was a little bit of a back and forth. Somebody from the Twins organization told me the story, and basically the manager hung up the phone and said, get your behind out here because you're costing us too much money on long-distance phone calls. So he came up, and obviously the rest is history. But he wasn't sure he was ready to face big league pitching when he was here in Minneapolis, even though he was tearing it up for that month or so he was here.
I mean, yeah, what a career. And he'll be remembered forever and ever. What was it like last night, Brad, at the ballpark when they announced his death? Was it shocking? I mean, you didn't know, but did it seem like the rest of the crowd was taken by surprise by that?
A little bit, yeah. And you know this if people have been to Wrigley before. There's a fair amount of road jerseys whenever you go to Wrigley because why am I here? I mean, I'm just going, to the ballpark because I like the ballpark. So there were a fair amount of Giants fans you could see that were, a little obviously, distraught, disappointed, sad.
Yeah, Christ. Oh, God, how many years now has Herb Brooks been gone? 20 years? Somebody help me out with that.
I think it's 2005.
2005. Okay. So is that 20? Yeah, nearly. I wasn't there, but a couple of my buddies. This is back before social media wasn't a thing then, was it? I don't know these things.
Excuse me, 2003.
Okay, over 20 years. Was there social media in 2003? Could you
barely
get instant
news?
Oh
yeah, so. Sure.
There was, so you could get instant news like you do today. And where I'm going with this is, I wasn't there, but a couple of my buddies were at the St. Paul Saints game the night that Herb Brooks died, and when they announced it on the PA before the ball game, they said there was just a massive gasp from the audience because they were so shocked and so saddened by such a thing. No way social media is the way it is today, where it's so instant. A lot of that crowd was totally taken aback by that. Sad. Nice, though, that the man lived for so long and, like we said, inspired so many people and gave so many great memories to baseball fans. He died at home peacefully with his family. Willie Mays. He did all right. An hour and a half rain delay kept me from seeing the end of last night's Twins game against Tampa Bay. I got sleepy. It's a good thing that Carlos Santana stayed awake. He came up with a 2-out pinch hit single in the bottom of the ninth to win the damn game by a final of 7-6, and now the Twins have won 6 in a row.
Not just that, but they moved into second place last night and pulled within 4.5 games of Cleveland in the division. So it was a big win. Correa had 3 more hits last night. He's just completely on fire right now. And it was a nice come-from-behind win for the Twins because, as you said, it took forever to play that baseball game last night because of the weather. And those are the kind of games that, sometimes I'm sure easy to lose focus and you kind of just wish the night would be done, or you pick it up the next day and not have to sit around and wait. But they stuck with it last night and won a nice game. So.
The Twins bullpen retired the last 14 batters for Tampa Bay, and that certainly made a big difference. Tonight they go again. Joe Ryan will start for the Twins. Brad, I have an update here for you. According to Wisconsin blind guy Jesus, the gentleman's club in Chicago called Heavenly Bodies has closed due to an embezzlement issue.
That's bad. We're going to find something else to do tonight now.
Well, there's a joint called Atlantis. That might have been the joint I'm thinking of, where I thought it was a Greek theme. Or is that Greek? I don't know these things either. There's a place called the Big O. You have a piece of paper and a pencil? I'm trying to get you. We used to go to the Boom Boom rooms in Chicago, and it was just unbelievable.
Let's get Brad a radio endorsement for a Chicago strip club.
Yeah, that would go over well with my employer, I'm sure.
You know what? I forgot to check before we went live. Who won last night's game between the New York Metropolitans and the Texas Rangers? Can someone look that up for me real quick?
Looks like the Mets did 7-6.
I think the Mets did because I was just looking at the standings before I went on the air, and the Rangers are on like a 5-game losing streak.
All right. Okay, so that means now the New York Mets have won, I think, 8 ball games in a row. This is a big thing on social media. The Mets haven't lost a game now since Grimace from the Ronald McDonald gang threw out a first pitch at a home game.
He's their good luck charm.
You know who we're talking about, Janelle? Grimace from the.
I love Grimace.
Do you?
Yeah.
The fans are aware of this. The players are aware of it.
McDonald's is aware of it. They've been talking about it too.
McDonald's knows?
Yeah, they've been talking about it.
They're calling it the Grimace effect. And some folks say that Grimace may have saved the Mets season. So they won last night. They're on a roll ever since the Grimace threw out a first pitch. He threw out the first pitch, Josh. I don't know if you're aware of this. Grimace threw out that first pitch on his birthday.
It was his birthday. They think that might have added to it.
Right.
A little bit of magic.
This is so stupid.
By the way, I saw a video of J.J. McCarthy throwing out the first pitch last night. Should we be concerned?
Yeah, you would think a quarter
about this draft pick a little bit.
And that wasn't even a moving target.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there were some pretty funny tweets on that, people making fun of him. Here was the crowd reaction. Hopefully this comes through. Not as good. But yeah. That's got to be embarrassing.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm sure he was feeling a lot of pressure too.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yep.
It would have actually been funny if Sam Darnold would have then run out of the third base dugout and run to the mound and thrown a strike.
Just dominated.
Just laced one down the middle.
Darnold's
going to be tough to live down.
Yeah, the video I saw was garbage. So how bad was it?
Oh, it looked like it went pretty wide left.
Bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
I'm pretty sure Ashley and Waffles were better.
What? Mine was the best.
Yeah, Wapples was the best.
I'm an athlete.
A bit outside.
Let's not go too far, bud.
We've got. You're gonna think we're a Mets or a Texas Rangers morning show here because there's just plenty to talk about with those clubs. Now, at last night or the night before, at the Mets-Rangers game in Texas, I thought this came off beautiful. I hope one of you has audio for this. A mariachi band who Josh is thinking about hiring for his next beer party.
True. I do want a mariachi band. It's true.
Not this exact band, but just any. A mariachi band played Higher by Creed at the Rangers game.
Yeah, they Creed bombed them.
Let's take our escape, so let's hold it. Ask can we stay?
Isn't that nice?
La 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 la. Can you take me higher?
Those guys are great.
I'm sure people are looking around going, are they singing Creed?
Right?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then there was some long, boring article about Texas sports fans love that song. I don't care enough to get into that, but that was a great version of that. So I think I'd rather hear that version than Creed play it, really, at this point. Keith Hernandez, he calls the Mets games alongside Gary Cohen. Christ. Keith Hernandez saw some... Well, first off, they have cheerleaders at Texas Rangers baseball games. Okay? I wasn't aware of that.
Has that always been a thing?
I don't know. I don't know. They wear the little outfits and the whole gimmick like you're at a college basketball game. Keith Hernandez saw cheerleaders. They're live on television, and he had to say something. That's how he operates. AwfulAnnouncing.com wrote the article on this. They said, like a dog seeing a squirrel, Keith Hernandez can't hide his feelings when he sees an attractive woman. So
they have cheerleaders. It's like a high school football game.
It does. What high school?
Not yours.
Don't say that.
Who's that, Bill Belichick?
Right?
Gary Cohen says it looks like a high school football game. Hernandez says, what high school? And then Cohen says, not yours, a.k.a. shut up.
Yeah.
There you go. The story here calls Keith Hernandez a, quote, big 69 guy. So he's like Rob Gronkowski, where all you have to do is say 69 and you're rolling on the floor laughing. Is that what they mean by that? He's a big 69 guy?
Nice.
Does anyone know?
I'm guessing.
Yes, he enjoys the 69 humor.
Okay, that's what I thought. Those kind of guys piss me off.
Uh-oh. Dana's a big 69 guy.
I know. At one point, you got to get over it.
Well, I find the humor I find in it is how stupid it is.
I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying that either.
No, not buying
It is 6:19 today.
Stop it, Brad.
Oh, Dana.
Yeah, really, Brad.
Nice. I knew he couldn't hold back.
I hate that bit. And Brad, stop it.
Quit encouraging me, Brad.
Nice.
Now, okay, I think that's it on the Rangers and Mets. Okay, there's all kinds of things going on there. I know some of you. Oh, here we go. I'm going to pick on Dana some more. I know some of you folks worship stupid kids movies, like Stupid Mighty Ducks, Stupid Goonies, never saw it. Stupid Sandlot, never saw it.
Yeah, I worship all three of those movies.
Stupid Home Alone.
Mm-hmm. You can keep going.
So here you go. A dude named Tom Gurry or something along those lines who played Scotty Smalls.
In Sandlot.
I was going to get there. I was. Yes, you're correct. He was in the Sandlot. Gets excited, doesn't he, Josh?
Oh, he loves this stuff.
A guy named Tom Gurry, who played Scotty Smalls in the 1993 movie The Sandlot, was arrested after being caught on video throwing a dumbbell at a car window.
I didn't see this.
Yeah. I was just impressed he could lift it, to be honest
Throwing
with you.
a dumbbell at a car window.
Shoot, Ashley's been out sick. I can't remember if she posted this or not. This might be on our website. She didn't?
No.
This would have been like maybe Friday or maybe Monday. I can't remember.
And my first thought was, okay, this guy, he had a couple of movie roles when he was a kid, and it's been a disaster since then. One of those guys who who can't let go of, the fact that the spotlight is gone. But then I read later in the story that he has done some relatively recent stuff. But anyway, this Tom Geary walked up to his. Well, it wasn't just that he threw a dumbbell at a car window. He also walked up to his neighbor's front door and rang the doorbell while holding a large knife in his hand.
Hey, you want a s'more? S'more what? No, you want a s'more? I haven't had anything yet, so how can I have some more of nothing? You're killing me, Smalls.
Right. It's riotously funny, of course. That was also caught on video. He's ringing his neighbor's front door with a knife in his hand. He doesn't have a shirt on. Smashes the car with a dumbbell. The car owner comes out going crazy, as you might imagine. And he says, this is what the guy Guri said to the car owner. Yeah, that sucks, man. I'll pay you back. Police found him in the middle of the street. He's 42 years old now. Been arrested. He'd been previously arrested, 11 years ago at an airport in Houston after he tried to kick a cop in the face after he was informed that he was too drunk to board his flight. Now, here's the part, like I said, I thought maybe, okay, he hasn't done a damn thing since he was 9, whenever this movie came out. But it says here he's appeared in numerous other films, including The Revenant. Isn't that the bear hump movie?
Oh, yeah. That bear was in a bad mood.
He was in The Revenant at least for a couple of minutes, so I don't know.
There's also Mystic River, which won a bunch of awards in the early 2000s.
I missed it.
I didn't see that one either. I've heard of it.
U-571, I like that one.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Bon Jovi, the star of that movie.
Oh, yeah. John Bon Jovi's in that movie for 4.5 minutes. He's a terrible actor.
Yeah, he's not that great.
Janel Klein, have you seen John Bon Jovi attempt acting?
I have not.
It's awful.
Did you leave out Black Hawk Down?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
You haven't? Excellent. Did I frighten you there? You shook a paper as if you were scared.
Yes.
I never knew he was in any movies.
Who?
John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, he's been in a few, and he's terrible.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely terrible. We got one final baseball note. Word is Major League Baseball attendance numbers are still going up. It's been improving over the last few years, and it keeps getting better. The reason why it was brought up, I think, here is last weekend made for the most asses in seats for a big league weekend since the year 2008. So I don't know who we're going to give credit to here. The rule changes and such. What do you think?
I think that has something to do with it. I think the weather around the country is pretty decent to go to ball games, too. Father's Day weekend probably helped a lot. So,
all right.
A lot of those things, maybe.
I'm happy to read that because for so many years it seemed like, well, baseball's dying a slow death. That is what it seemed like for a while there. So I'm cool with that. Randy, are you pretty pissed about, the hockey game?
No, whatever. Let's just play hockey in July. It's okay. Well, why not?
So you're kind of pissed?
Kind of, yeah.
They won't let it go.
I actually watched a lot of that game last night just because there wasn't a lot else to do here. And
how do you know when Randy's on vacation? He's watching hockey.
Watching hockey,
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going back to Edmonton. Anything can happen now, right? Anything can happen.
Yeah, the Florida Panthers failed to close out the Stanley Cup final series last night. Edmonton's won a couple in a row now. The Oilers won last night 4-3, 5-3 if you count disrespectful, unnecessary, empty net goals. Edmonton was a better team early. They had a 3-0 lead about a period and a half in. Florida came back, came close, but they ran out of time. So another long flight back to Alberta for Game 6 Friday night.
Right.
Conrad McDavid had 2 goals. One of them was that chicken-ass empty net goal I was telling you about. They all count the same, unfortunately. Conrad had 2 goals and 2 assists. So he's the first player in NHL history to have back-to-back 4-point games in a Stanley Cup final. I guess we'll see what happens on Friday.
Yeah.
They're changing the name of the X after next season, the XL Energy Center.
What?
They are?
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I read. The Pigs home rink after next season, they're going to have a new name for the joint, a new company.
So XL Energy is no longer sponsoring it?
One more season it will, from what I understand. And then a new company has made an offer that the Pigs couldn't refuse, or maybe XL Energy Center wants to spend their money differently, but it's going to have a new name. Boy, I hope it's not. I hope it's not terrible.
Yeah. Remember?
So we don't know who it is yet.
No,
they haven't announced it.
It's up for
No.
I got a feeling a lot of people will still call it the X, regardless of what the name.
Well, of course.
And maybe that's why XL Energy Center is bowing out, because they figure we put our stamp on this, and people are still going to call it that. So.
Right.
Did anybody really ever call the Metrodome Mall of America Field or whatever?
I remember I was covering the Vikings at the time, and their PR people would be like, "Oh, just so you know, in your stories, please refer to it as Mall of America Field at Metrodome." And no, I'm not going to do that.
No.
So yeah,
that was so bizarre. Mall of America Field at Metrodome. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't care what happens to Woola Marina. It's always going to be Woola Marina.
Right.
Or Mariucci.
Mariucci
it's 3M right now at Mariucci.
If you wouldn't have said that out loud, Brad Ryder, there's no way I could have told you the corporate name for Mariucci. But they hung that on it a few years ago. I don't know. Maybe it'll be something fun.
It could be. Yeah, maybe there'd be a cool sponsor behind it.
We don't normally get lucky in that situation, but maybe it'll be something fun.
Maybe Chico's Bail Bonds will throw their name on it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I bet people would refer to it that way. But the X just kind of sounds cool.
We work for Cumulus Media, and they always act like they ain't got a pot to piss in. Maybe they're saving up money to sponsor the arena.
They definitely pay no attention to the X, at least financially, I can tell you that much.
Oh! Spend a little money on us. Cheap bastards, Josh said.
I didn't say that. I insinuated.
Luka Doncic. This is cute right here. Luka Doncic. A video of Luka responding to a heckling Boston Celtics fan during the final game of the NBA Finals the other night. A video of Luka has made its way around the godless internet. In the video, Doncic is seen walking toward the sideline to grab a towel as someone or another is shooting free throws. And a Boston fan calls out to Doncic to tell him that he looks tired, which he always does. He always looks, we covered this. He always looks like he is about to drop dead.
Yeah, both of them. You're right.
So, really, in the audio, all the heckler says is, "You look tired." And Doncic replies with, "Your mom is an effing hoe, bitch."
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I hate to use this overword phrase, but that escalated quickly.
Yes.
And if you hear the audio, the people in the crowd come off surprised that Luka took it that far when the original comment was just that he looked tired. Now, of course, as you know, if a fan was to say something like that to Doncic, he would surely have that fan ejected and probably banned for life from NBA games. But the players can say what they want because they're special. Maybe Doncic should be banned. Your mom is an effing hoe bitch.
Wow.
Players can say what they want. Fans will be eliminated forever from ever watching an NBA game.
I don't know if players can say whatever they want.
Are you kidding me?
There's been... I think there'll be fines or there'll be...
Well, but the punishment isn't going to be the same as what a fan would receive.
No.
It would be kind of funny if he got banned from the arena.
That would be great. You can't talk like that in Boston. You're no longer able to play here.
Okay, so apparently the name must be kind of out there for the new X. People are saying, like VP of DGs, we're getting a lot of texts on this. He says he's looking forward to watching the Wild at the Chris Lindahl Arena.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah, he's arms wide open.
Arms wide open.
Yep.
And instead of the video that they play before the games, they'll just all be doing the Lindahl.
Yeah, they'll do the little Lindahl dance.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I bet your bro's working on it, Josh.
Oh, he loves hockey. If he has the cash, I could see him doing that. He loves hockey.
I bet he's looking into it. So anyway, I just wanted to have I wanted to launch one final attack at Luka Doncic. I don't think that's right. He can talk like that. He can go ahead and talk like that all he wants. But if a fan called him a bitch, gone. I hate that friggin' bit. All right, who is this now? I neglected to write down the website. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum won their first title together with the Boston Celtics. So, I got it right here. The subject.
Larry Brown Sports. Is this the one you're talking about?
I have Yard Barker in front of me. Again, who cares? This subject was brought up on Yard Barker. Which NBA duo will win its first championship next? You see where they're going with this? Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, Janel Klein?
Yep.
And they kind of ranked them in least to most possible, I guess. Number 5, they say the duo will be Jaren Jackson and Ja Morant, who can be wonderful together. We've seen that. But Morant's just such a doofus. Who knows if he's going to stay on the floor. Coming in at number 4 was A1 from Day One and Coral. And they can be terrific together. We've seen that as well. 3.
Did you just say Morant and Jackson are the number 1?
No. I'm going from least likely to most likely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. 3, they go again with the Doncic and Irving gimmick.
Yeah.
2, Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. And number 1 would be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren of the Oklahoma City.
If you look at the latest NBA odds for winning the title next year, Boston is the overall favorite, and it's not even close. Denver is number 2, and the Timberwolves are number 3.
Okay.
As far as the latest, like if you were to go bet in Vegas right now on who would win the NBA title in 2025, Boston has the best odds. Denver is second, and the Wolves are third. And I want to say OKC is 4, and they may even be tied with Dallas for 4.
Okay. Well, there's some great players in there. We'll see. Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren, they look like they might get there this year, and then they got pumped.
Yeah, they're going to be around for a while. That team, remember, has all these draft choices over the next 5, 6, 7 years that they've accumulated. They got to where they are faster than I think a lot of people thought they would.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that team's going to be stacked.
Have you guys heard of Pepper Pong just yet? We got Randy Shaver on the line. He's a pickleball enthusiast. Have you heard of Pepper Pong? This is supposedly
the next big thing.
Mm-hmm. The next big thing.
Bigger than pickleball someday.
You're building all those friggin' pickleball courts all over town. We were just talking about it a few days ago. We're all tired of it. We're tired of hearing about it. Pepper Pong.
I just saw this on TV the other day.
They're televising it?
Yeah. Well, trying to sell it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, Josh thought you were watching a showdown.
I was like, wait a minute, holy crap.
ESPN had coverage.
Because you can watch pickleball on TV. They can cover that. I was going to say pepperball already.
Have you any of you, Janelle or Randy or Brad?
I have not. Nope.
Never heard of it.
What did I call it? Pepper Pong.
Pepper Pong, yes, sorry.
It's a no-table required version of ping pong that can be played just about anywheres. They say here, even on a car hood. You can play on any surface. All you need is this plastic net that they'll sell you. You can adapt to any flat surface. They give you 3 types of weighted Nerf foam-style balls, each designed to bounce with different velocity. So I think the gimmick is the ball colors are green, yellow, and red. Green is the easiest. Yellow would be meaty. What's the word I'm looking for, Josh?
Medium?
Okay, medium. That's not what I was going for, but it's close enough.
Sure sounded like you were going to say medium.
No, you're not. You guys did the best you could. I just can't come up with the... and red would be the most difficult, like expert level. This guy who created it says he and his family have played for over a decade. Look it up online, everybody, when you get a chance.
They did that for the colors to match peppers, right? The spicy levels of peppers. That's kind of how they came up with that. The pepper ball, that's where that comes in.
I watched a little bit of it online, and it has me interested.
It looks fun.
It does look fun.
It's almost like you could play ping pong anywhere.
Right.
That's the deal.
That's the gimmick. You know, it's going to be less physical activity than pickleball, which is great. The less physical activity, the better. And you know, it's kind of cool that you can set it up anywhere. Check it out when you get a chance. Dude made the game up while he was in rehab.
Yeah, he had time, I guess.
Makes sense.
Productive use
There's
of
nothing
time.
to do there.
Sitting around.
Absolutely nothing to do but cards.
Yeah, you've got some experience, don't you?
Just cards and journaling. That's all we did.
Do you still have the journal by chance?
Oh, God.
I would love to read
That
it.
it'd be fun for you to do a reading of it on the air.
What are you talking about, rehab? When were you in rehab?
When I went to, going into my senior year of high school.
So explain yourself. What did you have to do? How long did they keep you in?
It was the whole summer, so 3 months.
You were in a building. You couldn't leave for 3 months?
I was outpatient, so I was lucky enough where I could leave. But there were some people that were inpatient, and I felt really bad for them.
How did you receive this punishment?
I had marijuanas in school.
And was that mandatory for any kid that was caught with marijuanas in school?
They said that I could not graduate from Forest Lake High School, and I would have to go to a different school if I didn't go to treatment.
The school dumped this on you.
I thought you were like required to have marijuana at Forest Lake High School.
Now you are.
They hand you a history book and some marijuana.
So what, you slept there? Or what would you do?
No, I would... Geez, you would do chores, and then you would kind of like journal, and then play a lot of cards.
So you had to be there between like every morning you'd wake up at your parents' place, and you'd have to go there for how long?
I'd have to be there from 7 till 6.
Oh, wow. And so...
or 7 to 7.
Weekdays?
Yeah. Weekdays, and then I was out on the weekends, but then... if you were outpatient, your parents pretty much had to watch you when you were at your house.
That sounds pretty harsh. I wonder if that policy has changed because, I mean, they found you with some marijuana at school. I mean, that's pretty harsh for such a small offense.
Mm-hmm.
I know a guy who went to the spin dry for a while. He had to stay there. He said the worst part about it is they wouldn't show him television. They couldn't watch television.
I have a couple uncles that have gone a few times.
I don't
know what was wrong with
TV either. Now that I think about it.
Why? Maybe they might show drinking or drugs on television. They wanted to take.
Yeah, and then there's kids with different drug problems and have different triggers and stuff like that. So
retired Air Force Jesus texted in, and he feels the same way a lot of us do, and he's glad that rehab worked out for you, Wappel.
Oh yeah, me too.
Never smoked a joint since.
Yep. Really changed my life.
I mean, now that I'm thinking about it. At least one of the people that I know that have gone to real deal closed door rehab, at least one of them, the first thing they did when they were let out was crack a beer. I don't think that rehab people probably don't want to hear those stories, but they're everywhere.
Wappel, why did you have marijuana at school? Were you smoking at school, or you just wanted to bring it with you like a comfort item?
It was just in my backpack. I forgot to take it out from the day before.
Item.
I need it.
Like a stuffed animal he threw in his backpack.
What's that gimmick now? Everyone's got an animal. It's a what animal? You see what I'm saying?
Oh, like a service dog?
No.
Or emotional support.
Yes.
Or something.
This was your emotional support ganja?
Yeah, this is my emotional support bud right here.
But this dude, he came up with the idea for pepper pong while he was in the spin dry. They had a garbage ping pong table that could no longer be played on, and he's thinking, I've smoked all the cigarettes, I've drank all the coffee, we got to do something around here. So that's what gave him the idea to come up with the game. He's sold 10,000 of them so far. He's looking for $70 in trade for the plastic net and the paddles and the balls. I hope it turns out to be a big thing.
It does look fun.
It does.
And they took they took a cue, I guess, out of beer commercials where a lot of the the little vignettes they put together, it's all like hot chicks playing it.
Oh, yeah.
You know? They know
really?
exactly what they're doing.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Okay. There you go. All right, finally, before we go, hopefully this video's up on our website. Randy Shaver, you ever been involved in something like this? 6 men brawled on a golf course on Father's Day in Ohio.
I saw this video.
This is a hell of a video. I don't know what the hell's going on with these dorks out on the golf course, but next thing you know, it's a 3-on-3 battle to the death. They're beating each other upside down, inside out. You know, there was a lot of cheap shots taken. A lot of guys hitting each other. You know.
Dare I ask what it was about?
This is what you have to tell me because I don't understand the language. Someone who witnessed it says what sparked the brawl was a 4-footer for the match wasn't given.
Oh, so sometimes when you play golf and if you're playing with buddies or friends and you've got a shot, a putt that's within like 3 feet. Sometimes you'll just say, "Hey, you can have that." You give it.
You don't have to put it in.
Okay.
You don't have to putt it. Yeah. We'll say that's a gimme.
Someone
just give it to them.
Someone asked a golfer to earn that final putt. That pissed him off. He thought it was a gimme, so they fought. And like I said, there was a lot of third man in action in this fight that I didn't appreciate.
Well, I saw the video. They were in the middle of a fairway going at it, and whoever recorded it was up ahead of them about 100 yards.
Yeah.
And the 6 people who are brawling, they all look like they could mix in a salad or two.
Yeah. There was one dude that definitely knew how to throw a punch. He knocked one guy over a couple times.
He got him down a couple.
Yeah.
That was the lefty.
Yeah, he had a left hand.
There was a lefty, and his opponent did not know how to deal with that.
There's also another guy that kind of did the deal where his body is like tucked way back, but he's punching as if he didn't want to get his body next to him for some reason.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I don't think
one guy acted like he was down on the ground, like he wasn't moving, and then when another guy turned his back, he went and tackled him, and it was pretty fun.
It wasn't the prettiest display, but a
couple of whiffs.
You ought to get a look at it because it's fun.
I like when the one guy's on the ground, he's still kicking his leg up at people. It's like a little kid move.
What's funny, I guess, is at one point or another, one of the 6 guys yelled, "Cut it out!" And they all did. That was the final horn.
So a lot of people on social, I don't really understand exactly a lot of these golf rules, but when they found out why, they got it. They're like, okay, I understand. That's warranted then.
Okay.
That must be something that's pretty frustrating.
I gotcha. There you go. Well, Randy, get home safe now from the Iron Range. You're heading home today?
We are, yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to maneuver through all of the... I know there were some roads that were washed out because of the rain and stuff, so we'll figure that out when we get in the car.
Yeah, you might not be going anywhere without an outboard motor.
I hope that's not the case. We'll
Drive safe, son.
All right.
And thanks, Brad Ryder.
Yep, you're welcome.
We'll be back here in a few minutes. More Janel Klein on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.
Every story eventually comes to an end. This June, hear the final episode of Season 2 of the hit podcast series In the Red Clay, Durham. In the Red Clay tells the unbelievable true story of Billy Sunday Burt, the most dangerous man in Georgia history. In the podcast that people are calling riveting, incredibly moving, captivating, and addicting. Binge Seasons 1 and 2 of In the Red Clay now, wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Yeah, that's accurate. Janel Klein is here with the program, live in studio, sitting in the same chair that Hulk Hogan sat in yesterday. Janelle, I think there's still a few blonde mustache hairs stuck to that microphone if you want them.
I'm so bummed I missed him.
Yeah, I wish you could have made it. I know you were scheduled and something came up,
Yeah.
but that would have been cool. Although we were concerned because the last time a professional wrestler was in studio, we thought he was going to abduct you. And
At least I would have known who Hulk is.
that's true. You didn't know who Ric Flair was.
No.
She didn't know who the Nature Boy was, even when the sumbitch walked in studio. And yeah, he wanted to be your man.
Oh my God, he was so funny, you guys.
Oh, he was hilarious.
Wasn't that a blast?
It was. He wanted to be your boyfriend.
Hulk Hogan brought in his new wife, though, so you would have been safe.
Oh, wow. Did she make a cameo too? Did she talk, or was she just here for support?
She was here for support.
Okay.
She was just in the background hanging out. Seemed like a very nice gal. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with Hulk Hogan yesterday. And for you WWE or just television wrestling fans, we do have plans tomorrow to have a conversation on air with Mick Foley.
We've been getting lucky lately.
Wow, you guys are on a roll.
Yeah, that's so cool for me.
Also known as
Cactus Jack.
Bang Bang.
I was going to say Dude Love.
Also
yes.
known as Mankind.
We have plans to talk to Mick Foley tomorrow. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on around here, but we're talking some all-timers here. How you been, Janelle?
I've been good.
That's good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Have you, I probably asked you this before and I don't remember. Have you, like Wappel used to, and like I believe Dana used to, have you ever used social media dating apps to land a live human being for a date?
I never have.
Never have. Okay.
No.
Okay. We were talking yesterday. Nothing new. People using social media apps, if that's the proper term, to meet people. Sometimes it's just for sex. Sometimes they want to find a forever significant other. We were talking yesterday about a supposed 33-year-old hot virgin lady who's looking for a guy to take her virginity away from her. But she has 12 rules for a guy to follow before she even considers it. You know, being very specific. If you're going to get this, you got to fall into line with this, that, and the other thing.
And I'd imagine everyone has some criteria, right? But maybe you haven't written it out. Like, I'd have to think about it for a couple. Well, Wappel said before a girl has to have hair. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty much it.
I don't know anybody who has specific criteria.
Well, I think everyone, you just don't think about it. Like, you don't write it out.
No.
Yeah, there's certain things that would turn you off about somebody. You just haven't really thought it through. That's kind of what makes this annoying, I think, a little bit.
Is this annoying?
Well, I think that's why we're reading it.
It's a little much.
It's outrageous.
The gal, okay, here are the 12 rules. She wants a guy who's family-oriented. I'm out.
Oh, wait. Let's stop right there.
Okay.
So she's just looking for someone to have sex with. What does she care?
I don't know.
What difference does it make?
Well, she wants maybe the possibility of it going for her.
If she gets knocked up, she wants a guy that's going to take care of that kid. Is that a fair statement, maybe? I don't know. Right. You're just looking to have sex. What do you care about family values at this point? She wants a guy who's genuine, kind-hearted, taller than her, an athletic build. She wants a guy to love to travel, love the outdoors. She wants a guy who's daring. She wants a guy who hasn't been married before. A guy with a sense of humor, a guy who's stable, a guy that respects her. Fine. Fair enough. That's what she's looking for. But has anyone heard of this gal now? This gal takes it to a higher level. She is, like yourself, Janelle, a influencer.
Oh, my God.
You ever considered being an influencer?
Oh, my God, no.
You could be a great
influencer. Oh, God.
You could be the one influencer that we don't vomit when we instantly... You know what I'm talking about?
I hate social media.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
All right.
I hate all of that.
I'm sorry I even asked you. But I think you could make a great one. You could maybe save that genre altogether because you're an honest person and you wouldn't...
I think that's the thing. I feel like you'd have to, endorse things that maybe you don't believe in, and that would never fly with me.
Okay. I also would never do that, endorse things that I don't.
You know why? He doesn't have time.
What am I doing?
He's always watching Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing,
Right,
Channel
that's it.
45, 8 o'clock every weeknight.
That's it.
You're not going to believe what Don does this week, or whatever the character's name is.
Played by your
Is it
favorite
John Goodman? Anyway. Here's a gal who takes the specifics and the criteria, I guess, even a step further. She's a social media influencer. She has what I believe to be a hilarious name of Vera Dickman.
It can't be real.
I think it's Vera Dickman. 5,000 men applied. She had men apply to be her boyfriend. And 5,000 men applied. She's a very good-looking lady. Very good-looking. She's got a big behind. Anyway, 5,000 men applied to be her boyfriend. She found just 3 guys who she thought were suitable. Ultimately, none of those 3 guys passed the test, I guess. She's starting over again. She says she still considers herself single. It didn't work, but she considers the experiment a success since she was upfront about what she wants and this and that. So
you know what you're getting into.
Right. I have her list of criteria. I have the questions that these 5,000 men had to answer. Now, I'd like to ask these questions to Josh and see how he would answer them. And Janelle, maybe you could chime in also, of course, and tell us, would you want to know the answers to any of these questions if you were to vet a possible partner?
Okay.
Would any of these questions matter to you? And then Josh can answer them as if he is one of the applicants. First off, I'm glad this isn't being asked to me because I'm never entirely sure. What is your astrological sign?
I believe I am an Aries.
Do you follow that stuff, Janelle?
Not really.
That makes sense. Josh does give off very Aries vibes.
I do?
No, I have no idea what that means.
Oh, I was just going to ask. I'm not too sure what that would
Does
be.
anyone know the traits of an Aries?
I do not.
Okay, good, because I hate hearing about that stuff in the first place. You're an Aries. Josh, would you care? So, Janelle, would you care about the... No, of course
absolutely not.
You're a grown person.
Do you know that kind of stuff?
I know nothing about it.
So you're not like you'd never say, well, you're an Aries and I'm a
Oh my God,
Scorpio
no.
and we'd never mix. You wouldn't know that kind of thing.
I would have no idea.
This is a good question. There are a few questions in here, whatever. There are some good ones, though, that I think we could have fun with. And Janelle, tell me if this would matter to you. Josh, the number of ex-girlfriends you have, the number of them that are, quote, crazy.
I don't know.
How many ex-girlfriends do you have?
I'll say one kind of. I mean, there's some stuff that was a little weird, but...
Oh, you're talking crazy now.
Isn't that the question?
Oh, but first it was number of ex-girlfriends.
Oh, I thought you were
first.
saying of the girlfriends. Crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if we're talking actual girlfriends where there's a relationship at least longer than 6 months.
Sure.
Probably around 10, maybe a little less.
Oh, damn. Really?
Yeah.
I thought your number would be lower. 10?
Well, I'm going back to high school.
No, I get it. I'm just surprised because...
because I didn't get married till I was 32-ish, something like that. And so I'm starting my first real girlfriend, I was 18.
Dang. Okay, 10. The number of them that are that were or are, quote, crazy, 1 maybe?
It's kind of. Just kind of.
And how many of them do you still talk to?
Maybe 3.
Okay.
Yeah, not like regularly, but keep in touch with.
Janelle, do you want to know how many crazy exes might be out there?
Well, I feel like she's asking that because she wants to see if you're like insulting people that used to date, right? Isn't that sort of what this is?
That was my impression.
You read between the lines on that one, John?
Oh, yeah.
I would have fallen for that one. And I would have lit up all the crazy ones and probably lost her altogether.
It's kind of like if you have a job interview and why'd you leave your last job? Well, my boss was a dick. All my coworkers I couldn't stand.
Right.
See, you guys
I was working
smart.
my ass
That's
off.
very smart to figure that out.
It
So you
says
think
more about you than it does about the other people and
Yeah.
how
That
you perceive things.
seems like
she wants to see if this guy's a prick who's going to, okay, I would have completely stepped in that. Luckily, I can't say bad things, really, about gals that were legitimately my girlfriends, really. So I would avoid disaster there. But if I had crazy exes, oh, yeah, I would have fallen for that. All right. Josh, do you have kids?
I do, yes.
Janelle, do you care if a guy has kids?
Not really.
Josh, do you want them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I married into it on purpose. I couldn't imagine my life without them. So absolutely.
Next question. Are you married? Yes. Janelle, of course, you need to know if the man is married.
Yeah, is that a deal breaker for you, Janelle?
I mean, I feel like if that's the case, he's probably not going to tell you the truth, right? Like, if she's trying to vet someone that she's going to date, if the guy is married, he's obviously going to lie about that.
But maybe she's asking because she's okay with some situations.
I don't know.
Have you ever had a married man try to convince you that he was not?
Not that I know of,
Okay.
but I mean, it could have happened.
Josh, if you were picking 3 adjectives to describe yourself, would one of them be douchey?
I'm sure I have douchey qualities.
No, you don't.
There's plenty of times where I walked away from a conversation and said, oh, God, I bet I sound like a douche.
No.
I can't say in the 28 years that I've known you, I can't say that you've ever come off douchey.
Well, I mean, I had a couple vehicles. People might say I was douchey. I certainly felt douchey.
No. I know you did feel douchey about your Dodge Charger or whatever. No, you've never. That's a great question, though. I love that question. Yeah. The gal's got a sense of humor. Do you live with your parents?
No, I never did.
No,
my parents lived with me.
They lived with you. Janelle, what if a guy lives with his folks?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's different reasons people might do that. So
Of course.
I don't care.
Yeah. Well, but what if he's 50?
Well,
Yeah.
again, I would. Then you start asking questions. Why?
It's
Right?
it's nowadays you wouldn't really ask anymore, right?
Probably not.
With just how finances are.
Well, that's that too.
And I know younger people are spending a little more time at the house with mom and dad because of, like you said, expenses and this and that. And but I mean, if someone's 50, I wonder.
Oh, geez, Jesus has said so far of my answers. Typical Aries.
This is a good one. Do you own a working car?
I do, yes.
The guy's got to have a car.
Yeah.
Do you have Twitter?
No.
Not on Twitter.
I did at one point when the company said you should get on Twitter.
Janelle, you don't like social media, and I love that about you. What if a partner is one of these big Twitter dorks?
Then I feel like I would go and read what the tweets were.
You check his history of comments?
Yeah, because I feel like you can get a pretty good sense of someone's personality from what they tweet, what they respond to, all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay, that's
political
a good point.
crap.
Yeah.
So social media wasn't really something I thought about while dating or when I got married or anything like that. So I wonder now, like, if I were to date, if I would, what do they call that, like Facebook creep or whatever, where I'd go back and kind of look at what somebody says. Now, I do know enough from having young people in my life where I wouldn't want to like something from about a year or two ago. Because that shows a level of desperation and creepiness, does it not, Dana?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
How far back can you go before it's weird?
Oh, to like something? I think even just a couple weeks kind of makes it weird.
Oh, really?
Because then it just shows that you're intentionally scrolling back to look at what they were posting about.
We've got these questions. A social media influencer lady named Vera Dickman. I'm not playing with you. Hot number, I'll tell you that right now. She had men apply to be her boyfriend, but first they had to answer all these questions. We're getting there. Josh, I'm asking the questions to Josh, just for example. Do you currently, careful with this one, do you currently have a booty call?
Well, can you count your wife? Because if that's the case, I have 2.
2.
I mean, what guy's going to admit to that?
Oh, I'd admit that if I was single.
Yeah.
And,
you would?
Yeah, and a girl asked me that I wasn't in a relationship, I would definitely admit
like someone that you wanted to date, you would say, oh, yeah, by the way, I have this other.
Well, I wouldn't bring it up, but if I was point blank asked, I wouldn't lie.
I think
You're just being honest, right? I mean, because you're saying I'm dating other people. You might not describe it that way.
That's true.
It's honest, and it's totally normal now with, what do you call that operation that I need to get on someday?
Like Tinder?
Tinder, yeah.
I suppose.
Totally normal
Yeah,
now.
I wouldn't shy away from that. I might kind of think, did I just throw a grenade into the room? But I would certainly be honest about that.
Can you tell us at all, Josh, you don't have a booty call anymore, of course. You're the honest, most straightest lace sumbitch I know.
I've talked about this before, like, you know how, like, when you're dating or maybe a newer relationship, maybe even for a couple of years, you have someone on deck where you think, I know I could call this person if I had to sleep my way to happiness after getting dumped.
Sure.
I don't have that at all. Like I couldn't. If you gave me 2 hours, I couldn't come up with someone.
Josh, you know you can always call me.
Well, you know what? I'm not attracted to you.
Dang it!
I've told you this 100 times. I could get you a. Women love you. I
don't think that's the case.
I know that you don't have anyone in mind because you're too Catholic for that. But I could have you hooked up within an hour. Josh.
I mean, honestly, I'm not just saying that like to sound a certain way or to.
We know that.
Like I would tell my wife if I would jokingly, of course, say somebody's in the batter's box. I have nobody. I wouldn't know who to call. Last time we talked about it, I scrolled through my phone just to see, and there's not one person.
I know.
Dana, I lied. I'm attracted to you. I'm sorry. I didn't want to make it awkward.
But I'm telling you, I know a few women who quite regularly ask about your wife's health.
Can I ask, just out of curiosity?
Yeah.
Is one of them maybe share a last name with you?
Hit the Hulk Hogan thing. Hit the Hulk Hogan thing.
I do. Okay, I would never have the balls to call your sister, but I do sometimes ask you out of nowhere, hey, does she ever say anything about me?
Yeah, you do. You ask me that a lot. Oh, she could use someone like you in her life. Jesus Christ. Tell us. Okay, we got to take a break. I'm going to continue to grill Josh and Janelle on this series of questions that a woman required men to answer in order to date her. We're going to find out more when we come back on the program.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're having a great time with Janel Klein like we always do here on the Half-Assed Morning Show. Janelle, have you settled on a bikini yet for next week's booze cruise?
I've got a few in the running.
Okay.
But I want to coordinate with Josh's Speedo.
We both have an agreement.
Yes.
Whatever we wear, it's going to be too small.
Yes, and color coordinated.
I just had an idea. I had an idea for me, Josh, Wappel, and Dana, the dudes that represent this here program. Now I think I want to save it for off air. Maybe enough people will forget. How about the four of us dudes? We get on the boat and we spend the entire time without shirts on, and we never explain why. Don't say a word about it. And if anybody asks you or tries to bust your balls about it, zero response.
I like that.
Okay. Here's the deal. We've been rolling through something or another here with Janel Klein, and Cubby's gotten involved too. Oh, some hot lady. She's a social media influencer. Last name of Dickman. No joke. She went online and more or less said, I'm looking for a boyfriend. Apply here. 5,000 men replied and applied. They had to answer a series of questions in order for Miss Dickman to even consider them. In the end, none of them passed, and she's still single. But right here in front of me are the questions that the dudes had to answer. We've been rolling through them. Josh has been answering the questions, honestly, of course. And then Janelle has been chiming in and telling us if any of these questions would matter to her, the answers to any of these questions, if they'd matter to her if she was looking for a mate. The last question we had was to Josh, of course, do you currently have a booty call? His answer is no. He's a married man. Since you currently don't have a booty call, Josh, could you tell us about the last one you had, and was it fun?
Okay, I'm trying to even remember.
The last time you had a regular booty call type gal, and give us a level of fun.
Well, I'll tell you this about her. Okay, yeah, I thought of it now.
Because I always had fun.
Yeah.
With the late night.
So this was like in the couple of years before I met my wife, I was a whore. It's the only time in my life I hoarded up for a couple of years.
My God, Janelle, can you believe he's even saying that?
I don't want to hear
It's cathartic to get this out.
She doesn't want to hear it.
Now, can I just tell you, my level of whoring compared to Nick's Thursday is different.
Oh,
right?
God.
It still doesn't compare. But for me, I should say, and by, maybe I should clarify. For me, my particular whoring, and I'm not judging anybody else, is if I'm not in a committed relationship, but I'm dating a couple people at the same time.
That is true.
So maybe I should be clear.
You have a very different definition.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I look at it for myself,
yeah.
not necessarily anybody else. But, so she actually, I mean, we've known each other for so long, you know most of these girls.
Yeah.
She had won a sex swing at work. And so she was kind of wild.
Wait a second.
And you might be wondering, how's that sex swing? And I can tell you this. We never tried, never even said
I want to know where she works.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't want to say now, but it's because it's a different day and age.
Right.
But it was a very big corporate, like a local corporate. Everybody knows this company. It's a worldwide company, big corporation. And she won a sex swing. That's the first time I ever even heard of something.
These days, that would make the papers.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But I can just tell you, it was a huge company.
You never set it up?
No, not once.
Oh, for Christ's sake. No. I don't know. You'd have to write her name down. I have a slight idea. Anyway, last booty call, she had a sex swing and they never used it. Nope. That's Josh's version of whoring it up right there.
Yeah, it stayed in the trunk of her car.
All right, here's the final round of questions here, Josh. Josh is going to answer these questions as if he's applying to date this woman. If we lived together, would I get the walk-in closet?
Yeah, I can confirm this.
You only need like one drawer
Yeah.
for you have 9 T-shirts, 2 pair of pants, and that's it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
So, Janelle, we recently had our bathroom remodeled by a subpar contractor. Actually, probably one of the worst in the Twin Cities. And the guy that owns it, small genitalia, and he smells weird.
What the hell?
Oh, wow.
I'm just being honest.
Okay.
This is all about honesty.
And we appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like weird. It's a weird genitalia. But so he built us a walk-in closet, poorly. And my wife has everything but 3 drawers, and I have one hanging section that I'd say is probably, what would you say about, this is 3 feet? About 3 feet. That's all I have. It's a double hanging thing.
And that's
3
enough.
drawers,
She
and
didn't
that's
have
it.
to fight you for that. You just didn't need any more than that.
I really didn't, but I got rid of some of my clothes so she could fit the rest of hers. And it's not like a huge walk-in closet,
Yeah.
but it's decent size.
Yeah.
And she's got a lot of stuff
is
in it.
closet space important to you?
Not really.
Oh, my wife was almost panicking.
Like
I'm
she
just
didn't
waiting to
think it
see
would
if
be
my
enough?
contractor buddy texts me.
Oh.
He's not happy.
Next question for Josh. Will you hit on my friends? Hit the Hulk Hogan thing again.
No, absolutely not. No
Not
way.
going to hit on her friends. Do you like watching Avatar?
I liked the first one. The second one, I don't fully remember.
Oh, the movie series? That's what that means?
I'm assuming.
It says in parentheses ATLA. Avatar, ATLA. I don't know what that means. Okay. And the final question, Josh, in order to apply to date this woman.
Oh, you know what? So is that the last Airbender? That Avatar?
Could be.
Okay, I've never seen that.
I don't know what is happening. Josh, your final question. Who is the best out of these artists? The Weeknd, The Future, the Drake, or the Travis Scott?
Well, the only one I can say I know I've heard for sure is The Weeknd, and he seems to be a talented fella.
You listen to any of those folks, Janelle?
I think I would say, like Josh, I probably only know The Weeknd.
I've heard of all those guys, and I'm sure I've heard their music, but The Weeknd's the only one I know. He can't feel his face when he's with me, right?
Yeah, there you go.
That's him, isn't it?
Yeah, and I only know his music because he played the Super Bowl.
As you might imagine, when this Dickman lady, the hot blonde social media influencer with the big backyard, as you might imagine, she got all kinds of interesting responses to all these questions. There was one man, remember, one of the questions was, do you live with your parents? There was one man who responded and said, yes, I still live with my parents. Oh, another question was, do you own a working car? So the dude says, yes, I still live with my parents. I don't have a car, but he owns 2 boats. Huh. If that does anything for him. I guess if they live in Vienna, or I don't know. What
yeah. I don't know if I've ever known someone who
no car,
who owns 2 boats.
But he's got 2 boats. Another guy said, another guy offered to send her a sample of his blood in exchange for hers.
Oh. It's important to get that out of the way right off the bat.
What is this? This is the name of your last booty call, the one who won a sex swing, but the 2 of you didn't use it.
No, never.
I have zero memory of this lady at all.
Oh, really? You've met her a few times.
Really? Mm-hmm. I don't recognize the name at all. Another one of the questions that Josh answered, which I thought was funny, if you were to pick 3 adjectives to describe yourself, would one of them be douchey? And obviously the answer is no. Yeah, I've known you for over 2 decades. I could never, ever describe you at any time as douchey. But then again, one listener did text in and say, well, what about the orange leather jacket?
See, and it was fake leather. But yes, that's what I'm saying. There's been some douchey qualities.
Oh, no.
I experimented with layering for a while, Janelle.
I think that's okay. I sense zero douche.
That's nice. I feel like it often.
Do you have a pretty good douche meter? Douche-o-meter?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Run down a list of the people we know. We all know in common, right?
Hand me a paper and pen and let's make the list.
I've stayed silent intentionally the last couple of minutes.
Please forget I'm here. Please forget.
All right, Jungle Jane, we got to go.
Thanks, you guys.
So nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. I know you had a weird week. Oh, we love you too. Thank you.
You're the best, Janelle.
We'll see you next week.
Okay.
All right. Before we get out of here, a couple shout-outs. It's not herpes, just friction burn, Jesus. You want to make that distinction. He texted the Luther Bloomington Kia text line and sent in a shout-out to his neighbor Chris, working in Corcoran today. And happy birthday to Brett from formerly 2.9 Jesus.
93X. The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It is fun, sun, and savings time at Standard Heating and Air with incredible savings on AC units, heat pumps, and combo deals this month to ensure your air quality is up to snuff this summer. Go to standardheating.com for more info or to schedule your appointment today.